Yo, what up, fellas? What up, fellas? How's everybody doing tonight, man? I hope everybody is doing well. It's your captain back in the building. One more year again, the Shaved Lion King. And look, guys, I'm just coming to wish you guys a happy new year. You know how I do, bro. I got to come through and keep it real, bro. We've been doing this thing a whole nother year again, man. These are memories, all right? These are landmarks, all right? I told you, man. If you would have jumped upon this journey last year, man, right about this time, you'd be celebrating, bro. You'd be popping champagne, bro. You'd be up here with your stunner shades on, feeling good about yourself, knowing that you just retained for a whole year, bro. You kept your glow. This is what it's all about, bro. All right. This is the meaning of life for a man. Like I said, bro, you feel like $1,000,000 on this journey, bro. Your life just goes together like a perfectly written book by yourself, man. You the author. You done came down here, bro, and you done the hardest thing there is to do in a man's life. All right. And that is tame his sexual life force energy, bro. This is just equaling one thing for you, man. That's called ascension. All right. You about to get up out of here, bro. You about to graduate. All right. This is what we doing, man. This is why we out here. We taking it serious in life, bro. This is what they don't want y'all to do. They don't want y'all to take it serious. We done seen this in 2025, bro. We done seen this coming in 2025 to 2026. We done seen, bro. They don't want you to be serious, bro. Why, man? Because everybody else out here is doing the same thing, all right, except these 1% men in this retention community who are making a change in this world, bro, one day at a time, bro, because we understand what's on the line. We understand that the Most High is watching us. I told you, man, they are all watching us, bro. This is a big-ass stage, man, and you about to graduate. You about to earn something. You about to see something so magnificent, never ever seen before by the human eye, take place on this planet, bro. And that's for all the people out there who took your life serious in this fourth quarter, knowing all the signs that you done seen all over the internet, all over the social media, knowing that you don't have to make a big change, and that requires effort, and that requires discipline. All right. And like I said, you be with us right now, right here at this time, celebrating a whole nother year of hard mode retention, because we glowing over here. All right, we doing the right thing in this community, bro. We gonna keep winning, bro. We gonna keep shining. I want you guys to understand that. And there ain't nothing nobody can do. I want you to understand this. There ain't nothing nobody can do. Hey, I'm gonna check who's in the building before I get up going, bro. It's good to see you guys all stepping in here today, bro. Who we got in the building? Who is that? Pierce the Third in the building, my guy. Pierce the Third. Good to see you up in here, my guy. Who is that? Trine, how do you say that? Trinomari. Appreciate you for being up in here, bro. Happy New Year to all you guys, man. Who is that? Sci-Finity 5672. Appreciate you for being up in here, bro. Happy New Year to you guys, man. I hope all you guys are doing well, bro. I hope all you guys, like I said, are making some good aspirations, bro, for next year, man. Okay, we shouldn't have to make it a year thing, bro. Okay, but like I said, for all the people who are new out there, who are just now jumping on the semen retention bandwagon, this is what I recommend for you guys to do. Okay, I recommend you guys to jump on with us. Like I said, in this this beginning time, bro, here in this one year that we're on, bro, and set it for next year, man, and see where you get. All right, see how able See how long you were able to maintain your long streak. Okay, this is what this is about, bro. We're doing big things in the semen retention community. Okay, and again, it's not about trying to put on a show, but I want you to understand this is big things over here, man. Okay, you guys got to understand, man. We got real men out here in the real world retaining our seed, bro, and that's just an amazing thing that we got going. Who is that? Eric Vaughn in the building. Appreciate you for being in here. Listen, I hope you guys are being safe tonight, man. This ain't nothing serious, bro. We just gonna sit back and we're gonna talk about semen retention. We're gonna sit back and we're gonna talk about the year in review. Okay, some of the things that I've gone through, some of the things that I've seen in the semen retention community. You know, this ain't nothing serious, man. This ain't nothing. Just kind of relax and sit back as we count down the time to the new year. You know how we did it, you know, like we did it last year. Okay, this is just a lounge and chat. Feel free if you guys feel like you want to say something, come up, start a chat, start a topic. Feel free. That's what they're doing, bro. Facts, bro. I wanted to talk about something like that, man. That's kind of funny that you brought that up, though, bro, because that's what they're doing, man. They're pushing that stuff all on the youth, man. I seen that in the gas stations too, bro. When you go to the gas stations, man, they selling the SEX to you in the gas stations. What does that tell you, bro? So many of the youth go out, man. I used to go out. I can't front, bro. I used to go out. So many of the youth go out, bro, and basically, what happens is, you know, they get drunk, they get the alcohol in them, they go to the clubs, they do all this stuff, right? And when they do that, guess what happens? Guess what happens to these guys? They get persuaded. Okay, bro. There ain't nothing good in a gas station to eat at 2 a.m. in the morning, bro. I just want you to know that first of all, bro. All right, so they go in there and they eat all the low vibrational junk, bro. That stimulates. I told you all that those chemicals, bro. They stimulate your sexual organs, bro. And for a man retaining the seed, that equals a relapse or a wet dream. Okay, I'm here to tell you guys the truth about this. I'm so glad you brought this up, bro, because it happened to me. Okay, it's happened to me several times. I've documented it every single time it happens too. The same thing happens. I'll tell you exactly what happens. You be out there late, you know, kicking it, or you just be up late at night, bro. And you got to understand when you're not supposed to eat past like 7, 8 o'clock. That's like giving your digestive system a chance to rest. It goes to sleep when you go to sleep. So once you start relaxing and you stop eating food and you're rested and you're chilling, your digestive system is going to go to rest and it's going to chill. Okay. But then all of a sudden you want to get up and you want to go and eat some garbage. Okay. You want to go down to the gas station and put all these chemicals in your body. And what ends up happening is that awakens your digestive system. Okay. And then your digestive system ends up, you know, staying awake for another, depending on what you ate. Okay. Because if it was meat or something heavy like that, we're talking about 14, you know, to 16, depending longer hours to digest and process that heavy stuff that you just put inside your body. And what ends up happening, man, like I said, these chemicals, they stimulate those sexual organs. And I've noticed every single time, bro, that I go to bed and I eat something late and it's late, and I'm talking about like, you know, after 11, especially if it was something like heavily chemical, like a pizza or, you know, a pasta. I've noticed it that most of the red stuff that I eat, which is funny to me, if you think about it, it correlates exactly with what we're talking about. your lower red chakra, right? It's red, and all the food that we eat that is red for some reason stimulates pleasures in our bodies, right? We we think sex. It's funny that they say that's all we do as the human race now is just eating and sex. It's funny to think that, but if you see what's going on and you understand the correlation between the food and the diet that we are eating every single day, you guys understand why we're out here, we're so weak, and why men, have a lot of wet dreams, and why a lot of men can't go long streaks. And the same thing's affecting the women because, like I said, they got all these hormones that they got going on already throughout the month, including their cycle. And then they're getting, hormoned up in the food, bro, and they're running around like their crotch is on fire and they want to just jump on everything, like it's affecting them the same way. But the only difference is, like I said, they don't have nobody that came into their community that done, trying to wake the people up. They don't have a semen retention, community yet. They need to get together, man. They need to go and they need to try to get that working on that as soon as possible, bro. Because it's just sad. A lot of good women are just being taken off the shelf, by these guys up here who ain't worth nothing, man. And since the society is rigged like that, man, that's who the women are gonna go after, and they're gonna get burnt one after another, bro. You know what I mean? It's just sad that this is the society that we live in, and then regular good men like us, and I don't even want to call us rare because we're not regular, but since society has orchestrated and constructed this thing, the system with money, and they only make it for a certain group of people who can have the money, that kind of puts everybody else at different odds, right? And we're not able to go out and have that life like that. It's kind of unfortunate, and we get all the trash, and I won't even call it the trash, but hey, some of it is, we get all the second choices. We get all the people who done been through the washer and dryer. It's just unfortunate, man. And like I said, I just came to a conclusion at the end of 2025, bro, that 2026 ain't gonna be nothing different. We got to be out here. We got to be retaining our seed, bro, because there's just not a whole lot of good options. And I want to bring up a couple of good things that I believe would be good options for you guys. I think you guys, we talked about it before. We talked about the passport thing. Listen, I'm not no passport, bro, or nothing like that. You've never heard me really no press nothing like that. I've said, in the past that I think men should have their passport. And, this time right now is the best time ever, bro, because like I said, man, unfortunately what's going on in this society, and I'm going to make a point here real soon. Unfortunately what's going on in the society is, it's being controlled. You have two teams out here. You have one team out here that has done recruited all the players, and then you have another team out here that has no idea that they're even on a team and they're even in a game. Okay, and they're being outnumbered. Okay, and they're being outmaneuvered, and you happen to play on that team, I'm telling you, who doesn't have, any inclinations that he's playing a game. Okay. You're just like me, you're a regular person, bro. And, for that simple reason, man, it's going to be very hard for you to go out here and try to find something that's going to work out for you, just based off the way society is now and how things are ran. And even if you do, you're going to have to jeopardize, your peace. You're going to have to jeopardize, all the stuff that you don't worked hard for, because you understand, the way the laws are, the way the stereotypes are in this, in our society, bro. You know, accidental, misunderstanding could lead you into jail, and we've even seen worst case scenarios get you popped in the head and leave your body. So all I'm telling you guys is, it's not even so much better in other countries, because other countries are starting to catch on. They're understanding that, American men are leaving America, okay, and coming into these other countries. We've had several issues with passport bros and stuff like that come up. You've heard the things with Austin Holloman and all those guys. So we understand that, they've unfortunately already made a name for us men out there who's never taken that trip yet. But yet and still, it's a better opportunity for you to go into these other places and meet women who aren't completely affected yet. Okay. like I said, I believe this is a NWO thing. I think this is a New World Order thing. And believe it or not, like I said, I've talked with many of different guys in many of different countries, and they all saying like pretty much the same thing is happening there. Women have changed, they're having the same issues that we have here. They're having the same things with, people over there who seem like they are being spied on and watched. They're having the same things that we have here there. So it's just a matter of time before, this thing gets everywhere, man. So if I were you, I wouldn't waste very much time. I would, start doing something like that pretty quick before, something like that gets ruined. Let's keep the facts, man. They don't let us have a good thing. And once they catch on and know that men are just going to be opting out and running away from the situation, I guarantee they're going to try to do something to make it, tougher or harder. You already see they got the real IDs and they've got all these new things out there that make it harder for us, to leave the country. Okay. And just imagine what's going to, happen in the future. Okay. We're in a country, bro, where we have pandemics, we have plandemics, we have so many different things out here, man, that could keep us our feet, glued to the ground. And we got to be very, very skeptical, man. Of the things that are going to be happening here in the new future. We can't forget all the bull crap that happened in 2025, my people. We just can't forget it. Okay. And I just can't forgive it. Okay, we've just been through way too much, man. I don't care who's doing it. They're trying to tell us there's two sides of this coin. They're trying to tell us that, there's people up there, there's two royal families up there fighting, in literally in the government. And we just so happen to be the people who are the innocent bystanders, whatever it may be, bro. I'm just tired of all the stuff that is going on in this country, bro. And the last thing that they've taken from us is our happiness and our union as people. Okay, they've made money a god, and this money god came in and it's got a lot of us, to lose faith in humanity and how we're truly supposed to act and conduct ourselves as people. And because of that, this is a very uncomfortable place to live, and a lot of guys are now opting out to leave the country. And I don't blame you guys at the end of the day. I just want you to understand I don't blame you guys for what you got going on. But understand, man, like these are the things that are going on. Okay. And I just think honestly that, the smartest thing to do is to be retaining your seed because, like I said, not only is it going to protect you, and I'm not saying you're not going to be safe if you decide to go to any of these other countries, where it's just not as, as rambunctious and wild as it is here. I understand that you're not going to do that, but we're still doing this to better ourselves. We're still doing this, all right, to take care of ourselves again. We understand what we're supposed to be doing as a man with our sexual life force energy. We understand the name of the game. The name of the game is to be retaining our seed. Okay. The name of the game is if we're not out there creating a little one, bro, then we're not supposed to be doing that. Okay. It's a waste of energy. And anything that's a waste of energy, bro, is a bad investment. And again, we discussed this at the end of 2024, going into 2025, that we weren't going to be making any bad investments anymore ever again. Okay. And this is my attitude. This is my stance. Again, moving on forward in 2026. And I think you guys should conduct yourself in the same manner based on what's going on out here. Okay. You got to understand everything that I've told you guys is the absolute facts, bro. Okay. This is what's going on in this society, bro. Okay. And it's just sad. You know why it's so sad, guys? I'm going to tell you why it's so sad. It's so sad because after all this stuff that I tell you, everything that I done told you, from all the benefits of retention, bro, to all these things that are going on that should, make you want to exclude yourself from society and go on and focus on your own life instead of all that stuff being taken into fact and weighed heavily. Okay. What do you have? You have men out here who will still go out here, bro, and do everything except retain. And this is just what's crazy. This is so blasphemous, bro. It almost makes me like scratch my head Like, what do these guys think that I'm up here doing this for? They think this is a show. Do they think this is a reality show? Do they think I'm up here getting paid doing this or something? Do they think that I got some kind of deal out there going on? Listen, guys, this is nothing like that. Okay, this is real life, bro. Okay, this is if you want to, live a happy, healthy life, which some of you guys don't know how to looking toward the future, and this is why I sit here and I make these long live streams, because I want you guys to see what's going on. Okay, I want you guys to take me seriously on what I'm telling you, because I'm not up here wasting my time. I'm telling you out here, and I'm being your best friend. I'm being your real father. Remember my video, the conversation your father should have told you? That's my position. Okay, instead of these Charleston Whites and all these Kai Sinets and all these ridiculously low vibrational, okay, unintelligent people that they give you. Okay, the Most High gave you somebody, bro, who went in and became the best that their DNA had to offer. Okay, and is in front of you, telling you the path of his life on how he was able to make that connection with the Most High and turn around his life. Okay, my job is to prove to you guys that this is not what you think it is. Okay, this is the road to masculinity, bro. This is the road to, like I said, gain whatever you want out of life, man. Okay, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna be able to walk into any room, you're gonna be able to walk into any setting, and you're going to be the person, bro, that people are going to be looking up to and going to be attracted to, and it's just going to be something naturally that happens. So this is a gift that's going to follow you around wherever you go for the rest of your life, bro. But instead, we still got these men out here, bro, who still want to take their chances. They still want to go to the club. They still want to go to the XX video stores. Okay. They still want to get on the hub. They still want to have an OnlyFans subscription. Okay. Listen, man. Listen, guys. This is not the best thing to be doing right now in 2026. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. It's all about energy, man. Listen, I saw something so crazy today, man. Like I said, I'm so tapped in, bro, to things, man. I got so many things I want to share with you guys, and I'm telling you, man, I've been telling you, I've been proving to you, bro. I tell you things that nobody else has said, and I'm gonna prove it to you tonight. At the end of the stream, I'm gonna do something for you guys, man. I'm gonna prove something to you guys. I found secret keys, bro, to life that people don't know about. It's all been right in our face with simple little things, man. And people don't understand on how to read themselves, okay, to understand on where you came from, okay, maybe something like your bloodline or your relatives, or bro, I have an ability to talk to you, ask you a few questions about yourself, man, and I can figure out, pretty much where you came from, okay? And I mean not from landmass. I'm talking about who is your ancestors, okay? This is the type of ability that I came into when I've been retaining my seed. I'm talking about things that just came out of nowhere, knowledge and skills and talents that just came out of nowhere. I told you, it's a downloads, bro. You done heard plenty of other men tell you that they get these downloads, okay? And I'm no different, bro. I've been doing this a lot longer, bro. So imagine how tough mine are, bro. I have so many things written down, and I'm probably gonna read some things to you. Okay, I'm gonna read a few notes to you guys that I just have written about semen retention. Like, bro, it's just like my mind it works so well, and I have so many thoughts. Man, I just wish I could just write down everything. And sometimes I say I'm gonna write it down in 2 seconds, and then bam, it's gone. And I have a million other things that are going through my head. So I have notes everywhere, bro, constantly, different things that are going through my head. Nobody else has said, nobody else has thought about. But the funny thing is like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. We're all out here basically saying the same things, just in different words. Okay. No, there's nothing new out here. I pretty much believe that someone's done said it in one way before in this lifetime, in this existence as humans, bro. They done said it the same way that somebody else done said it. The odds are in the favor of that happening. So, like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. Everybody out here has done pretty much said the same thing, you know. And this is me. This is the same thing that I'm trying to tell you guys. Okay, this is the life, bro. Okay, on semen retention, bro. And like I said, I would rather go this route, bro, than to be these guys out here who just don't understand, who just don't get it. These guys out here who just don't get it, bro, are the guys out here going to be all of these victims, and then they're going to take their actions out on somebody else, okay? Further putting themselves in a hole, bro, instead of learning what we all were supposed to learn as a man. Gotta understand this, man. We live in a place where we've never been able to do what we want to do. We've never been given the truth on anything. We've been lied to about everything, but yet we don't want to trust ourselves and believe the things that we experience in our lives. Okay, this is we got to stop leaning on what people are believing, man. Okay, we got to put our trust back in ourselves, bro, and have the faith in what we're doing, man. Okay, because we're doing this for a reason, bro. Okay, semen retention came into our lives for a reason, bro. Okay, because like I said, during this time, man, we're going to be avoiding all these traps that all of these people are going to be falling into, bro. And I've seen so many people fall into the traps. Okay, we've all have. So many of us have ended up with a woman who done broken up with us, taken our family, and then just turn the other, you know, just turn completely different on you. We've all had that situation. Okay, and it's not going to be any different for any of you younger men coming out there. So many of you guys out there, again, have never been in relationships for very long, have never dealt with women for a long time. You don't understand the way this society is. You don't understand the way that people deal with each other in 2025. Okay. And everything is very short. Okay. Everything is what can you offer and how they can use you. And this is what's going to cause a lot of men some problems. Okay. And it's going to keep us in this cycle of not knowing ourselves. All right. And the best thing that we could be doing, man, instead of battling all of these things, like I said, is to be going inside in a time where the world is like this in chaos, bro. Those are warnings. Those are red flags. There's too many things out here going on, bro, for you to be taking a risk of going out here, man, thinking you could just sleep and mess with anybody that you want. That's men and women alike, bro. Okay. I sat here and told you guys it's a reason why I don't even go out anymore. Okay. It's like been years and years since the last New Year. That was like the last time that I went out. Okay. And I saw some horrible things, man. And I just see how people really are in this world. And I just don't want to be a part of that no more. Again, further giving me motivation to go back inside and do the things that I have decided to do to make myself better, bro. All right, to be the example, to show you guys, man, that you can break away from this sad, depressing, worthless society that gives us nothing. There's liquor everywhere, there's sex everywhere, bro. There's drugs everywhere, bro. There's poor people everywhere, bro. There's fat people everywhere, bro. There's drama, there's sadness, there's poor people, there's unhealthy people, bro. There's people dying, bro. This is a miserable place, and y'all got to keep it real, bro. And if you're trying to sit here and act like none of this stuff is going on, man, all right, then it's just going to be a matter of time before you actually truly wake up, because you're going to have to go back inside and develop some kind of empathy on what's going on, bro. This is how you come into being a real person. Okay, somebody who is void of personality and feelings, bro. These are all things that make us human, bro. And the Most High wants you to, be this type of a person so you can get the understanding on life down here. Again, we're supposed to be evolving from this. We're supposed to be learning on how to conduct ourselves and be as people. We're not supposed to be out here caught up in our ego, showing out, acting like somebody we're not, trying to be like the people that, that they give us on our TVs, these celebrities, man, promoting a lifestyle, bro, that is unnatural, got us out here acting outside of our characters. We are lost, bro. Okay. But only thing that we can do, all right, only thing we can do is, like I said, is to to maintain, bro, our energy, okay? Reframe from everything that's going on in this game, okay? This game of life has got us out here lost, man, okay? We got to get back in balance, bro, okay? And this means that, like I said, men and women alike, we need to get back in balance, man. But this is very important and a very crucial time in our timeline in this thing called life, man. Okay. Because, like I said, we're adding and we're feeding this fire. We're keeping all of this garbage going on, man. Okay. We got to understand, man, that this is not what we think it is. Okay. This is an agenda. We see this now. Okay. We have to go to work, 9 to 5 jobs. We have to pay our taxes. They take money from us. Okay. They raise prices. Okay. They make food unattainable. They put chemicals in the food. Bro, we're sitting here, being mad at everything else in this world except the things that truly, really matter. Okay. And we need to be taking our power back and understanding that that's going to require a lot of discipline. And when you do things like SR, it's going to make you more intelligent. I told you it's going to raise your IQ. And that from that point on, you're going to be questioning everything in your life. Okay. You're going to take the time to actually do the research on everything because, you're going to be your own teacher. And I know for the most part, man, that's a very hard step to, get on to try to get self motivated on. But let me tell you guys something, as somebody who's been through life, and there's been times where I told you I had Crohn's in my stomach. They used to call it, what's it called? I forget what it's called. It's Crohn's for short. I used to have that in my stomach, right? And they told me that thing, you could never get rid of that because it's an autoimmune and they could never get rid of that and this and this and that. And my whole life, man, I had to battle that, bro. And that was one of the worst things that I could ever possibly imagine, bro, anyone having to deal with, man. Okay. And having to live a life like that. Most people end up losing their lives over that type of thing, man. They can't fight, they can't keep up with that battle. And if I could convince somebody else, man, to not let themselves, not only, do that to themselves, but understand everything that you're doing to yourself, you're doing to your DNA. So that means when you go out here, and our hormones are the way they are, you're going to go out here and you're going to create offsprings. And now you done giving your offsprings this weak genetic material. Okay. Hence why we be talking about, you know, sperm autogenesis and semen retention for 90 days. You understand why it's so important to have a healthy, mature seed, because you have all these aspects of the outside world, the chemicals in the food, all these different things in the waters, the injections, all these different things that are causing us to have a low sperm count and weak sperm. And it's causing us to have weak genetic material. Y'all got to understand that we got to combat this stuff. And the way we combat this stuff, man, okay, is by being aware, by being smart, okay? And this is what retention does. It gives you that power, bro. It gives you that brain power to come out here, bro, and literally stop all of this, okay, in its tracks. You won't be bothered anymore, bro. You won't be swayed, okay? Listen, man, I told you, man, my life has been going amazing, bro. Okay, absolutely amazing, man. And there's nothing no one could do to ever get me to change my mind on what I'm doing. Okay, I'm trying to be on here to show you men out there, bro, who will do everything else in this whole world except retain. Let me tell you guys something, man. I'm going to hit over this one more time, and hopefully I'll get somebody else again to understand on how deep this is, man, because this is serious, bro. Okay, especially all you men out there, for all you men out there who don't have a relationship. Okay. And there's a lot of you out there. There's a lot of you men out there who are not married. Screw a relationship. We're going to go straight down to the way it's supposed to be. There's a lot of men out there who are not married. Okay. So if that means if you're not married, that means you're out there sleeping around. Okay. You're not married. Okay. You're out there wasting your seed. You're out there in sin, bro. You're out there not living the life that you're not supposed to live. Okay. Listen, I'm not trying to bust your balls. I'm not trying to tell you that you can't have some fun in life. I never said anything like that. I'm telling you on how you're living. And the more that you keep living like that, what ends up happening is you start attracting more and more of that to your life. Okay. It's almost like a gambling habit. You go start gambling for a little bit, bro. And then next thing you know, you say you're only going to go a little bit more. And next thing you know, you're going again and again. Next thing you know, every single day. And next thing you know, you done broke your pockets. It's the same thing here with you playing around with your seed, bro. Okay. It's the exact same thing, bro. If you're out here and you're not married, bro, and you're out here on the scene, bro, you're the one out here, causing your own karma. Okay. Because there's nothing positive coming from that. Okay, you're the fool. I told you in that exchange, 9 times out of the 10, the man is the one who is the unintelligent one, understanding on what he's losing in this whole process because he's never sat down and given himself the time to weigh the things that he is doing with his actual life force energy. He doesn't understand that he's going into this process and he's losing this exchange every single time, but he seems to forfeit, okay, his energy to the female every single time, which, like I said, which doesn't make him, in the end of the day, a real man because he's not going to be walking around in power like he's supposed to be. This is what I want men to start understanding on how we're not just out here sleeping around, fellas. Okay, we're not out here sleeping around, fellas. We are out here, bro, okay, trying to retain our power, trying to gain power, trying to gain time, bro, trying to, be the best that we can be. We're going to attract everything when we become the best that we can be. Why waste your time out here, okay, tricking around, wasting off your energy, tricking off your money, bro, okay, knowing that you work at damn Amazon, should be saving that little check, bro, every single week, but nah, you want to trick off that check every single week and you never have no money at the end of the week, and then you end up being one of these people who work paycheck to paycheck. Okay. And this is the same way you're going to be with your life force energy. You're going to be walking around, bro, looking sad. You're going to be walking around looking like that Felicia in Menace to Society talking about you got these cheeseburgers. Listen, bro, you got to understand this, man. Your seed is what represents you. It is your life force energy. It's what makes you who you are. And without it, bro, you have no identity. I want you to understand this, guys. You have no identity without your seed. And you go into these relationships with these random women, bro. Okay, I'm talking about some scragglers, bro. I done seen some of the women y'all mess with, bro. Listen, that's one thing you will never catch me ever do, bro. I think I got maybe one of those on my entire resume. Okay, that's one thing you'll never see me do, bro. I told you I did that one time, bro, at the beginning of college, bro. And I told you I'll never do that again, man. Okay, especially now, especially how I came to be a mature man and I understand on how important my life force energy is. I couldn't imagine being out here with some woman that I'm not attracted to, I'm not in love with, that I don't want to have a little one with, and I don't want to, intertwine energy with and reap and build something and have a family one day. All that. I would never be out here just entertaining some regular woman doing that, bro. This is what you don't understand, man. This is how you've lost focus on what we're doing down here. This is how you know on what head rules your brain, okay? And it's definitely not the big one, it's the little one, okay? And that's what gets man caught up out here every single time. That's why no man is able to progress to the heights that he wants in his life. And this is why we out here 24/7, you beating you upside your head, bro, like Snoop All's upside your head, bro, letting you know, man, on how important this is, bro. Okay. I know some of you are ignorant. Okay. Like I said, some of you grew up on the fluoride water. Okay. Your mom was giving you the tap water straight into your bottle. I feel bad for you, man. Okay. You can still reverse that, bro. You can still get your brain back, bro. You can still work on your third eye, bro. You can still get that back. You got to understand, man, everything comes with awareness. And what I'm doing is I'm giving you the keys that are going to go back in your life, bro, and help you access parts in your brain, bro, all right, that you can actually go back and revisit and see where you were making mistakes, okay, whether that be in your diet, whether that be lifestyle, okay, and you're going to start to, like I said, be more educated about your decisions. And from that point out, this is when the growth takes place, because then you start taking the practice more seriously, because you're seeing that it provides you awareness now that you're keeping this energy within. This is the difference. Okay. This is the difference. This is why I can sit here and I can tell you all day long, bro, if you're not doing this, you are the fool. Okay. I don't care how cool you think you are. Okay. Because every single man that has had it, has had it, that thought he didn't need to do this, has had it, has made it a certain amount of years before he loses it all. Okay. And you know what happens when he loses all? Because he loses his mind. He ends up losing his mind. He ends up making mistakes, and he ends up losing everything that he worked hard for. Instead of the man that would go on this with his thoughts in mind, okay, keeping everything that he done worked hard for and make it super far in his life and leave a legacy. Okay, I'm talking about somebody like some of these big people, bro, talking about the Apple owner, and all these other people. You know who I'm talking about. All these people, bro, who left something behind, who showed you that they didn't crash out. It showed you what happens when you maintain this life, man. This is what is on the line, and this is what I'm doing this for. A lot of you guys act like this is so unattainable. When I just sat there and told you, bro, I used to do the same thing that everybody else used to do. Okay. I used to just sit back and just want to watch. I used to want to just sit back and be like, man, I want to do that, but I just don't know how. I can't do that. I used to say that word, I can't, all the time. I used to say that word, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And now look at what I'm doing with my life. Let me tell you guys a truly motivating story, bro. I'm going to tell you a truly motivating story, how I got started on this whole YouTube thing. Okay. This is a true story, man. Let me show you how the Most High worked. So when I first got started on this YouTube thing, man, all I wanted to do was make YouTube videos. When I first got on YouTube, all I saw people was making videos, nice videos where they were edited. It had a intro, it had background music, bro. It had, cut scenes in it. It had perfect editing, all these videos. And all I wanted to do is just have a couple videos and just have my videos look professional. Okay. I never wanted something ridiculous and super expensive and unattainable. Let me tell you how my life went when I started getting on YouTube. I couldn't get nobody, bro, to help me with my YouTube. Never. To this day, bro, listen to me. This is going to motivate somebody out there. And then look what I have today. This is going to motivate you. Okay. Nobody would help me. Nobody. My friends. I reached out to friends. I reached out to family. I put posts on Craigslist that I would pay people hundreds of dollars if they just came and helped me and taught me how to edit and taught me how to do this and taught me how to do that. Let me tell you guys something. And this is on everything I love. Not one person helped me. I didn't get one person that helped me, bro, through this whole time on this YouTube. And guess what? I almost gave up because no one would help me. So guess what I did? I just slowly just started. Okay. I bought programs that, I'm be sad to tell you today, bro, that I wasted hundreds and hundreds of dollars on that I never used because they were so intricate and so in depth for my learning curve at that time that I never accessed them. I never used them. Okay. I'm talking about like, my MacBook Pro, I forget the programs that was on there, but you guys know what I'm talking about, those editing programs. Okay, I had all of those. Okay, I couldn't use any of that because they were so sophisticated. So there's one process where I ended up wasting all of this money and I couldn't get anything done. I didn't even get one video done, bro. And I had wasted like hundreds of dollars because I had no idea how to use any of this stuff. Okay, it was Final Cut Pro and Adobe, and it was all those things like that, right? So I couldn't even use them. So that kind of discouraged me from doing my videos. And then I was like, okay, I got another smart idea. I was like, I'm going to get the best camera out there. Listen to me. This is how you get lost in making your content. I'm just going to tell you guys straight up, you don't need any of this stuff, bro. Okay. I said, I'm going to go out and get the best camera. So every 6 months, I end up upgrading my camera phone. I had when the iPhones, the XLs first came out, the big iPhones, the pluses. I started getting those, and I started thinking that that was going to help me, make my videos look better. I kept thinking that I'm going to have the best quality for my videos. And then I ended up finding out after years of wasting money on cameras that didn't even matter. And then I said, okay, I'm going to get me a DSLR. I want to have myself a nice, super high quality video, bro. And oh man, this is going to make my videos so much better. And then at the end of the day, man, I couldn't even use that too much because it took up too much space for, per video, and it was too much to edit. And then that ended up being a waste of money. Okay. And here I end up wasting all of this money, bro, on all these different things, and I got nothing done. Okay. I didn't even do the first thing that I needed to do, which was learn how to edit and learn how to use font. I wasted so much money, man. And then at one point I just said, screw it. I said, I'm just going to turn on the camera. I'm just going to sit in front of the camera and I'm going to start talking. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, one of the first places that I learned how to talk in front of a camera and I got good at talking in front of the camera was those little apps where you would just go and you would just push record and all those fake people would come into the room. That is where I started practicing talking in front of the cameras. I would sit on that app. I sat on that app for a year, over a year, and I would just, I would do runway shows. You guys think I'm joking, bro. I would do runway shows. I would set up my room, bro, like a runway show, and I would do like 2-hour videos, bro, where I would just be trying on different clothes, bro, and I would be doing runways, for these people. And then I would come and take breaks and I would come and talk in front of the camera. And this is where I first started getting good at that. And then from that point, then I started, working on, the editing and stuff like that with smaller programs. And then from that point, everything started going together. The cohesiveness began to go together. Then I was able, like I said, to start editing, and then I was able to get comfortable with the camera, and then from that point on it was just one thing after another, and look where am today. Like I said, bro, I would have never imagined I'd be sitting in front of this camera. I never imagined I'd be on a mic. I never imagined I'd be sitting here talking about semen retention. I never imagined that, I'd have all of this, subscribers and viewership. I never thought I would have any of this stuff, bro. Okay. Because I thought I was going to give up because it was too discouraging. Okay. And this is another part of my story. This is the very beginning part of my story before I even came on social media. This is how it was, bro. Nobody would help me, bro. Nobody. Okay. And all I wanted was just to have little things. And now you can see exactly what I wanted, because now that I went in and I did this journey, bro, and I went on, and I'm telling you, I went on this journey for real, bro. All of my creative abilities came out, and you can see that through every single thing that I do. I don't care if it's a live stream. I don't care if it's my editing. My editing is where you can go and see on how I would want to edit stuff. And let me tell you something. All that editing that I have done, okay, sometimes I would put 3-4 hours into, editing a video. Some of those videos I did, like the 3-hour videos, some of those videos were like edited over 8-9 hours of editing. You guys have no idea on how tough editing is, okay? People get paid a lot of money to edit people's videos, okay? Because that is a crap ton of work. And that's why you don't see random uploads from me, because I actually put in work. Okay. None of my uploads are shorter than 3 hours worth of edit work. None of them are. Okay. I put in work on every single thing that I do. So I want you guys to see that this is what I gained. Look at how my life turned around, man. Look how amazing my life changed, bro. Okay, especially when I started using my own creative energy. Look what I was able to create, man. Look what I was able to use. Sexual life force energy is the most powerful energy down here to transmute, bro. And look how I've shown you through artistic qualities of my own creative ability. Okay. This is, again, another one of these things that I'm proving to you guys. Never would have had this channel, never would have be doing the things that I'm doing without have, gone through retention, bro. And this is how important retention is to me. This is why I want you guys to do what I want you to do. I want you guys to do this, man. I want you to experience this, bro. I want you to tap into your gifts because, like I said, we're all different, bro. I'm an Aries. Some of you guys are different signs. So that means we all have different abilities and different gifts. And this is why I be telling you guys to do it because I'm curious to see on what you're going to turn out like. I want to see somebody else, really get into that creativeness, man, and show us on what they're working with. Show us what they've alchemized with all of their discipline. This is the whole beauty of this journey. This is the beauty of our community. And this is why I'm gonna keep going. And this is why, bro. This is why I love this community, man. Okay. And this is why in 2026, we're going to keep these live streams going, bro, because I understand the value. Okay. I understand on what this can do for your life, man. And all I want you guys to do is, again, I'm an empath, bro. I'm an empathetic person, bro. All I truly want in life is for people to be happy and be able to tap into their gifts for they don't feel left out. I want everybody to learn how to fly, bro. And that's why I'm here, okay? Because I'm sharing it with you. There's nothing I've hid from you. Every single secret that I have used to get myself to where I'm at today, I've given to you. Again, it's all about how bad do you want it? Are you ready to change? Are you ready to take this life seriously, man, while you still have time? Are you going to be a clown like they want you to be? Okay, I told you they want you to be a degenerate. This is why they give you everything without no work. This is why everything's instant gratification. Because if you take those gifts, this is exactly what's going to happen to you. Okay, you're not going to appreciate life. You're not going to be in the presence. You're not going to live in the moment, bro. You're going to take everything for granted, bro. All right, you're going to become greedy. You're going to fall out of balance. And this is what the Matrix is good at, getting you to fall out of balance, bro. Fall out of frequency. All right. And then, like I said, you find yourself in a deep rabbit hole, and then you end up accumulating worse and worse things. And again, all I'm here is to prove to you guys that anybody can crawl out of anything that you've ever created. I'm here to tell you you can. I'm telling you you can. I know who you are. You got to know who you are. You got to understand on what kind of gifts you have. Okay. And you just got to tap into them. And the only way you can is by lighting this fire within. I'm telling you, if you don't have your energy, if you're out here, ladies, you're out here just having random intimacy with different men, and you're getting to that point where you're giving your energy away. Okay. That warlock, whether he's a warlock or not, even if he's unknowing, that man is coming in and taking your energy. Okay. Because you're just giving it away. All right. And that depletes you. That takes away from your power. Okay. Let me give you an example. Okay. I've heard plenty of jokes. Okay. My girl used to crack. We used to crack jokes. She used to say, "You gave me the chicken legs," right? Let me tell you something. Okay. If that's the case, that means that you're weak, right? That would mean that you're weak in power, right? That's what that means, right? Because your legs are weak, right? That's what it does to a woman. It weakens you. So that proves to you right there that it weakens you. And because of that power pulls on your nervous system, which is all connected again to this body here, okay, which is very intricate up into your brain. All right. And that disturbs the natural brain functioning patterns. And like I said, like Rod Hayes says, you might see it, you might think it's there, but you're not perceiving what you think is there because you're delirious. We don't understand on how serious this is, okay, for both men and women. We've proven it to you, okay, because unbroken brahmacharya, all these things that we've talked about, we've proven it to you on how serious this is. And there's a major difference of the people out there who are retaining it and the people who are losing it. Okay. The IQ difference, the intelligence difference. Okay. The ability to store knowledge. Okay. We've talked about all the things that you can see night and day between the people, bro, who are out here doing this for real. All right. And this is why I am going to continue, like I said, to keep doing this. And I want to keep encouraging you guys to keep doing the same, man. And listen, I appreciate all you guys that came up in here. We're rocking on into 2026, bro, retaining our seed, man. I appreciate everybody that came up in here. We're going to keep rocking until this comes in, bro. And then I'm going to read a couple of these comments real quick. Yes, sir. Tell them, bro. Isn't it feel amazing, bro? I feel amazing on SR. I feel amazing, bro. It does, bro, right? Hey, man, listen, life is great, bro, when you're retaining your seed. We already know this, guys. All right. We already know this, man. We live in the life, bro. Let everybody else out here keep capping. Let everybody else out here keep living that low frequency life, man. All right. One day they gonna see, man. They gonna see, bro. They're gonna keep having to come here, man, and keep seeing like how is this person able to come up here with all this energy, stay on focus, on point what they're talking about, come here every single time, bro, and be authentic and genuine with the people, bro. How do you do that, bro? Listen, man, anybody can do it, bro. You could do the same thing. We all should be together up here on podcasts, experiencing life, telling our stories to the people. This is what we're supposed to be doing. But guess what? Just like MGK said, bro, MGK said, in order to write songs, he's got to keep, he's got to keep writing. He's got to keep writing. So that means he's got to keep living life. This is what he said. This is the only way he can make music, bro. He's got to keep living life, bro. That's the only way he can keep writing. And this is the only way you could tell your story. You got to get some experience. You got to get some knowledge. You got to get some wisdom. This is going to require you going on your own story. Okay. You can't create your own story sitting on your butt all day. You can't create your own story sitting in the comforts of your home all day. Okay. You're going to have to, make your story. You're going to have to create your story. It's got to be something that it's going to be worth reading. Okay. Make your book, of life exciting. All right. There was a time there you could say at the beginning of the chapter of your book, in the beginning, I thought I lost it all. Okay. And by the end of that book, you're a totally different person, done leveled up 10 times, done shedded, 5 or 6, 7 different bodies and look like a completely renewed person. That's the way we need to be thinking as people, man. And again, the more defeated and depleted you are of your sexual life force energy, you just won't have the ability to come up here and be like this. You just won't, man. You're going to be coming here as somebody who is sitting back, being a monitor in spirit, bro, and trying to, siphon some energy because they don't have any of their own. Instead, I want you guys to understand, man, that all of us can do this, man. I just want you guys to trust me, man. Just trust me, man. Like I said, come back here, bro. Throw eggs at me all day if it don't work, okay? But I know that's not the truth, man, because everybody that I know that has done what I've done, all right, says the exact same thing, all right? It is the truth, bro, okay? Your life is going to become amazing on SR, and that's on everything that I love. Facts, bro. Pierce the Third says another opportunity to collect a championship ring in this matrix, holding it down. That is my attitude, bro. Okay, that is my attitude. You guys seem I don't have them up anymore. They're up on the walls up here, but I have my championship belts up, bro. I look at them every single day, bro. I got to get me another one. I'm waiting on to find a specific one that I want. I think I'm gonna get a custom one this time. Okay, I'm talking about this is something that, like I said, these are landmarks that I'm going to forever remember. Okay. They're going to solidify things that I've done in my life. I'm going to have tangible items. Okay. That signify, landmark things in my life, man, that I can look back on, that I can be proud of, that I know even into the future are going to be hard things to accomplish for most people. And these are things that have changed my life forever. Okay. Again, this is all part of my book of life. This is all part of my story of life. This is all I'm trying to show you guys, man. I don't know. I'm trying to encourage you guys to want to live like this, man. This is how you live life, bro. You got to understand, man, your life has got to be something entertaining, something that you're going to want to read. This is the never ending story, bro. Okay. This is what we're doing. But you can't, like I said, you can't sit back, man, and take what the matrix is giving you. You got to step outside your comfort zone, man. All right. You got to understand, man, that this is set up to ensure that you never reach the final level. Okay. And I know we're all competitive, bro, especially as men, bro. We all got a competitive niche in us. That's what testosterone is. Whether you want to identify with it or not, it's not my fault. But we all have it because it's testosterone as a man. And when you're retaining your seed, you got so much more of it, bro. You're so much more confident. You're so much more sure about your movements, bro. And this is what I'm telling you. This is the life I'm living, man. This is why, like I said, SR is the best supplement out there and it's for free, man. It ain't going to cost you nothing. All it's going to cost you is some discipline. My man Dylan in the building. He said, "Yes, sir. 2026 belong to the chosen." Tell him, Dylan. Hey, if you guys haven't gone on over to Instagram, I know Dylan doesn't really get down on the YouTube, but he's on Instagram, man. If you guys go check out Dylan, he's on Instagram. He makes some good content, bro. I like Dylan, man. Dylan's creative, bro. He's got that courage, bro. He out there doing his thing, bro. He's got some interesting content up on his page, man. So go and check him out if you guys can. Daniel in the building. Appreciate you for being up in here, my man. Hey, what's happening with you, Finney? Appreciate you for being up in here, brother. So many people relapsing right now. It's not even funny, bro. Whew, bro, they're out there. They're depleted coomers, bro. Bro, man, listen, man. Look, bro. There's so many things that I can say, man, and I just try to keep it to myself because I'm not even in that realm anymore, bro. All I can do is look at them and just think, man, like, bro, if they ever get it, they're gonna delete that content so fast. If they ever get to the point that I'm at, bro, they're gonna be so embarrassed at some of the things that they left behind and some of the things that they talked about and some of the things that they believed. Like, bro, like I said, it's a maturity thing, man. We talked about on how the light goes off when your seed impregnates a woman. Okay, in the moment of conception there's a big flash of light. Okay, the moment when you leave this body there's a big flash of light. The same thing that happens to a man when he retains his seed, bro. Okay, and this process takes place, bro, where he raises the kundalini and that seed travels up his spine, all right, and gets into his brain. Okay, it becomes enlightenment. Okay, any man can do this. All right, but the society has been set up to ensure that you don't do this. All right, this is the whole thing. Just like I'm sitting here making this video right now, and there's an apple phone pointed right at me with a big chunk out of it. Okay, the forbidden fruit, bro, is what we were exposed to. All right. And because of that, man, all right, that is one of the hardest things to, to basically, deal with in the modern world is sexual immorality. It's everywhere, bro. That's the number one tool that the Matrix use. So this is why most of the people are going to fail. And this is why I'm trying to tell you guys, man, it's beautiful when you finally figure this out. Okay. It's beautiful when you're finally able to face this. Because, like I said, then you see the Matrix for what it is. You understand. You see all the Matrix moves. You go, and it's a day by day, everyday learning process. Okay. Eventually, you will have the all seeing eyes to know all. So, how do you guys wonder why I know so much? Because I sat here and told you, if I've been doing this for 7 years, okay, straight, and I was given the eyes to see before my semen retention. Okay, semen retention just made me on God mode. It just gave me the ultimate ability. It gave me my sixth sense. Semen retention was over the top. My spiritual awakening when I had cleaned out my body and I started fasting and I started being vegan for 7 years and all that stuff. That's when I awoken. Okay, that's when I really started seeing stuff, and all these things have came together to form the person who you see today. Okay, and again, it's an amazing story, and so many of you guys out there are, are not fulfilling your mission here on life, which is, writing your name in the book of life by creating your own story. Okay, and the story is that we're all down here, we're superheroes, and we're caught up in a matrix, and we have to escape the matrix. I don't know what you don't understand. Okay, I'm not coming to save your ass. Okay, JC ain't coming to save your ass. Okay, there ain't nobody coming here to save your ass. This is your story. Okay, how is it going to end for you? What did you do? Oh, you didn't do nothing because you got caught up in the traps. They gave you free corn. All right. They gave you the rap music, bro. They gave you money, bro. Now you think you're better than everybody. They gave you money. I want you to think about this. They gave you money. What happens when an EMP goes off? What happens when there's some natural disaster? Where does money matter then? That doesn't that even the playing field? So that should show you right there that money is an illusion. But again, when you're low in brain power, okay, and you're living a degenerate lifestyle, you're not going to have the comprehension to put together a story like that and own up and take responsibility and accountability of your life and change your thinking and maybe change your karma that you created. Most people ain't going to do that. They don't understand that that's the analogy on it, man. That's the way this world is. All right. And this is the way they got us to live. And until, like I said, until you free your mind, man, you're going to be caged up and locked up to this system. Facts, bro. I already went over that a little bit, man. I went over it earlier, bro, and I talked about it. I'm not trying to call too many people out. If that's what they want to do, bro, let them do what they want to do, man. I have no quarrels on what they're doing with their life. Okay, we've already said all we need to see, or we've already said all we need to say, and we have our own community, bro. All right, we need to worry about the people that are here that are trying to inspire to be better. So let me ask you guys a question. All the guys out there who aren't retaining, let me ask you a question. Why aren't you retaining? I want to know all the guys who aren't retaining, why aren't you retaining? Are all the stuff out there is bull crap? So everything out there is bull crap, right? You don't believe nothing. You don't believe nothing. You don't believe nothing about what's in the food, obviously, because you eat the diets, right? So you just don't believe nothing. So you're just going to live your life where you just don't believe nothing. And then you're going to end up a victim. Okay. You're going to end up in their system. You're going to end up losing your life early. You're going to end up somebody who ends up being an NPC and being somebody who uplifts the matrix and being a part of it. And you're going to end up losing your life. All right. And not figuring out what you're supposed to do. And you're going to end up having to come back to this biatch all over again and do it all over again. You have to keep living this hell over and over again. You have to keep getting birth. You must think that that's a cool process. Have you ever seen the movie Mickey 21? Has anybody ever seen the movie Mickey 21? The movie Mickey 21, Mickey 21 is a clone, okay? And they're showing you what the movie is basically a life of a clone. And his whole job is just to die. They use him as a test person. So he's expendable. They just throw his ass out in any situation and he's expendable. And he always knows when he's going to die, but he used to be scared of it, right? He used to have fear of it, but he's died so many times that he just stopped having fear of it. But here's the point of the whole story that I'm trying to tell you is that you don't want to keep coming back over and over and over and over and over. Why? Because in the movie Mickey 21, it even shows you even him as a clone didn't want to do the process of dying, of coming back over and over, being rebirthed, going through that system, having to become a baby, living through that life, going through all those things, and then get lucky enough to make it to a certain point where you remember again. You don't want to live that life, man. Okay. This is the reason why we're doing this. And it's the reason why these types of messages resonate with people, because I'm telling you something that you need to know. Okay. It's a reason why you're in on this type of information. Ain't nobody else going to talk like this, because everybody else on YouTube is about money. They want to get a check. Okay. They don't care about helping nobody. Okay. And it's sad that it's like that. And you know, hey, that's what they want to do with their lives, is that what they want to do with their lives. So take serious consideration on what I'm telling you guys, man, and practice celibacy. There's also YouTuber. There's also putting out SEX video ads on YouTube. It's sad when YouTube ain't even safe, bro. I've been on YouTube so long, I done seen that. They done that in waves and cycles, bro. They've been doing that for a while. Okay, I'm just keeping it real, bro. They've been doing that for a while, man. Okay, and it is getting worse and worse. Some of the ads you can block it. There's some ads I couldn't even block, and it's bad, bro. And like I said, man, you know, we're just up on YouTube trying to study, trying to, you know, find the videos that we're going to enjoy. And then we get hit with stuff like that, bro. It's sad, bro. I know it is, man. It's sad, bro. And right before you go to bed, that thought now is in your subconscious, bro. And as a retainer, man, that can be detrimental, bro, especially if you're not dieting right and you're not drinking enough water, bro, and you got on the wrong draws. Oh, you're in trouble, bro. Okay, you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night on a rock, bro, and you don't squirt it all in your pants. Trust me, man. I understand on what guys go through, but you guys gotta understand, man, too, man. You gotta really do your part. You gotta understand this ain't a joke out here. All right. I told you, this is why I cut off TikTok. I have no more social medias, bro. It's YouTube, and I hate to even admit Instagram, but like I said, the only way I'm even using Instagram is because I'm talking to people who don't live in the country. Other than that, I wouldn't even have an Instagram, because Instagram is the worst by far. Okay, just unrealistic, fake, you know, lifestyles all over social media, bro. We're aware of this, man. We learned that back in the old school MySpace days, bro. Okay, we saw where social media was headed, bro, and Instagram is just the most glorious one of them all. I had to delete social media. It's flooded with corn pics, bro. I told y'all, brothers, man. I told you we're in the end time, bro. We're in the end game, bro. And this is what social media is gonna be like, unfortunately, bro. This is why I don't mess with social media, man. You guys see why I don't play no games, bro. I don't play no games, man. I can't play around with my sexual energy, bro. I'm telling you, man. As a retainer, you're sensitive, bro. And sometimes I get where people say, hey, I can't, you know, warn me before you show a picture of this and this and that. Look, you should be at the point, man, where you should be able to have some sort of, you know, discipline built up where some of that is not going to bother you. Okay. Yeah. You know, I'm not saying you need to tolerate it all, but I'm just saying, bro, some of that stuff shouldn't bother you. You should be strong enough to be like, hey, man, I live in America. Hey, man, I'm on social media, bro. And this is what I see every single day. You got to have enough discipline and toughness to understand that you got to endure some of this stuff. You're not going to be able to walk through this world, bro, and not have to see something like that. So you got to build up some sort of stamina to that stuff. Okay. And understand that everything else that you're going to be provoking. So if you're getting on Instagram, you already know what you're into. You already know what you're getting yourself into if you get on Instagram. Okay. Even if you get on TikTok. Okay. TikTok there for a while, man. That's why I said I haven't been on TikTok, bro. I've been off of TikTok, and I've stayed off TikTok for, I believe this is like almost a third or fourth month, bro. I'm not playing. I'm done. And it's just so much stuff on the social media apps, like even TikTok, like everything was sex. Even Facebook, I was getting sex ads on Facebook, man. So I just said, you know what, I think I'm done with all this stuff, bro. You know, I just see what they do. It's all about sex. And if you guys can't see the, you know, what's wrong with that, question what your brain is working like. I'm not trying to be mean, but just question what your brain is working like. If you see sex everywhere, think about it. What are they trying to do? If they're giving us sex everywhere, people, what are they trying to do? Think about it. You have to think about it. If you don't, like I said, there's something not working. If something's all in your face, What do you think the correlation to that is? Why do you think that they're putting that all in our face? Because this is what this classroom's about. I've told you why they do this. Now you see why this is so important, because we will never be who we're supposed to be. It is that important. And people don't seem to understand by doing this that this totally changes who you are. And it is, and it does. And there's tremendous amount of research out there that supports this. And this is why I can make my whole channel dedicated to this, because there's endless information out there, and there's endless people on the internet who are walking this life and experiencing this life, and they're documenting it in real time for people to see. So everything that we're doing is right on time. It's just we got to get the rest of the people out here to take what we're doing seriously by taking themselves accountable and going on their journey on their own. Again, they're not going to take anything that we're doing seriously until they start to do it themselves. Facts, bro. Who is that? McIntyre. He said, it ain't even safe for the KIS to watch TV no more. Trust me, bro. I can't even say the word, little ones. I say little ones, bro. But YouTube, they'll automatically kind of censor the video if you use those type of words. But yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, bro. It isn't safe, man. And I used to be all up on mines like that too, bro. Like making sure what they're watching and setting, restrictions on some of the things that they're watching. I'm a big advocate at, watching what your little ones are consuming, man, because this is how they get them. Even the cartoon stuff has subliminals in it. Like it's amazing on what's out there and what's available today. And like you said, there's nothing safe, bro. It ain't nothing safe. They coming for all of our innocence. I told you guys this, man. Nobody leaves this place innocent. And this is why I believe a family should be the number one thing that people come together on. Absolutely, positively, do not break that bond until those little ones have been raised, basically knowing on what is going on out here. And if you do it any other way, then like I said, you're a person that's going to put your whole family in jeopardy, because this world is going to get to people when they are not strong. When there is two in that household that have two sets of eyes to see, it is far less likely that anything is going to happen. Okay, but the minute they separate the people and they, get, you isolated with one or the other, okay, they work on those people's weaknesses, and this is how they infiltrate, bro. This is how they get in. This is how they get to your little ones, man. And once they've got their minds, it's over. Okay, and then like I said, you have another generation, of the foolishness that's about to start all over again, man. So I hear what you're saying, bro. I trust me. I totally hear what you're saying, man. And it's sad that this is the reality that we live in, but it's important that we keep doing what we are doing, man, because we are now the people, bro, who are the trendsetters, man. We're the people up here being the leaders. We're the new school leaders, all right? We are the new, social media content creators, bro, who are going to make a difference, bro. I'm telling you, the more of us that create channels and we start creating our own algorithm of content, man, we'll be able to override all the garbage that YouTube is trying to put in our FYP. I appreciate the super chat, J Boss. J Boss says, bringing in 2026 clean. This year, I'll follow the Father's guidance, heal childhood traumas, and become the best man and father for my daughter and the future of my little ones I may have. That's what's up, boss, bro. That's what's up, man. Hold on one second, guys. That's what's up, boss, man. That's what you got to do, bro. Listen, man, that's motivation, man. That's motivation to be the best that you can be. And I told you, little ones, they'll do that for you, bro. Your little ones will do that for you, bro. They did it for me, man. They can be your best motivating factors, but at the same time, in a world like today, bro, they can be karma. They can be karma, bro. It's man. It's this world is scary. I couldn't imagine, bro. even being successful, that's even worse because that puts an even bigger target on you. You know, having a family right now, bro, that you have to watch over everybody, man, and understanding what's going on out there, bro. Whoo-wee. Like I said, man, bro, you know, and then it really makes you really start to identify why we shouldn't be doing this at all and why it's a big risk and why the most important thing that you could do, bro, is learn how to retain it and become a master of it, because then at that point, bro, there's nothing that can bother you, bro. Listen, man, the enemy cannot use his biggest weapon against you when you're out here walking in with your armor of God, which is retention. You know, like I said, everything's gonna bounce off you, bro. You're Neo in the Matrix at that point, because you know they can do is try to harm you at that point. All the Matrix can do is send bots at you and try to harm you at that point, because you're not gonna fall into the trap that most of the men fall into and how they get them, man. So trust me, guys, I'm in full understanding on what's going on out here in 2025 going into 2026. And if you guys are smart, man, if you guys you guys are smart, man, you guys will be up here listening to what we're saying, man, and you'll be applying on where this stuff fits in your life. That's what's up, J Boss. He says sleeping with women and PMO leads to numbing. 16 days on SR. I cried over 3 times. It felt good. Path to healing and going over 6 months. I'm glad you said that, bro. I'm glad you said. I'm gonna make a point real quick. Again, if you try to even come up here and be like, "Oh, this nigga soft, man," bro, y'all the people who are out of frequency, bro. If you talk like that, you're not even being a real person, bro. Okay, that's an act. Okay, you're not going to be up here if Christ, the Most High, whoever came back that you so claim to believe in, and be saying that he's soft for showing emotions. Okay, emotion symbolizes that you are in balance. Okay, I'm not telling you if you're big up here and big crybaby and you suck up on your thumb. I'm not talking about nothing like that. Okay, I'm talking about emotions. Let me tell you how my emotions are attacked. My emotions, bro. I'm an empath, number one, so I'm already feeling the emotions. The worst thing about semen retention is your emotions are heightened. You got to be very careful with it, man. Like I said, man, this is why I like to be in solitude, because a lot of people's emotions can affect me. You know what I mean? Real easy, because I can absorb it. So if I see something that's hella tragic, guess what? If I let it affect me, it can affect me. You guys seen that in the live stream, in one of my semen retention 4-year live stream, bro. All I was thinking about is all the stuff that I had been through in my life. I wasn't trying to I wasn't trying to tear up or nothing, bro. It just hit me. It hit my throat, bro. There was nothing I can do. I just got a big, when you get that big ball and that lump in your throat, there ain't nothing you can do about it, bro. There was no, I was done at that point. My throat chakra was shot. It was shot, bro. Okay. It was that big old lump in my throat. There was nothing I could do, bro. And, that accompanies, water in the eyes. It's just the way it is. But listen, man, there is nothing, unmanly about that. There, bro, we're talking about something that you should be in tap with. Again, if you haven't had little ones, another indication. If you never had little ones and you never understand emotions in the first place, because I'm telling you right now, if you got little ones and you haven't shed a tear over them being born, or you haven't shed a tear or maybe one of them getting hurt or something like that happen where you done been put in a state of of maybe fear or something, then there's something wrong with you, bro. There's something wrong with you, bro. You might want to go get checked out, bro, because that's not natural. All right. There's no one to be walking around this mug hard 24/7. That's an act. All these people you see on the internet that try to act hard all day is an act, bro. Like I said, I don't get down with people that are fake, bro. I don't care who they are. Most of the people are fake, bro. Ain't nobody acting like that, bro. It's an act. It's a part of an ego. It's a mask. Okay. Normal, natural people are in balance, bro. And when you're in balance, those type of things will affect you. Okay. And that doesn't make you, a weak person, bro. It just means that you're in touch with your nature. And that's something that we all should be. I'm not telling you again to be up here and advocating being a big crybaby, but there ain't nothing wrong with something like that, J Boss, especially like you said, over your family and all that. That's an emotional stuff, bro. And he, like you said, your tears are cleansing. That's one of the number one things that helps. If you tear up over something that you really cared about, bro, that's cleansing, bro. That is healing. You have to do that. I'm not telling you to come on camera and do it, but I'm just telling you that ain't something that you should be ashamed of. Okay. All of us, man. And some of us out there, bro, like I said, have so much emotion, so much karma built up, bro. The day that emotion hits you, bro, it's going to be like a train wreck. You're going to cry like a big ass baby. I promise you are, bro. All those people out there who are acting hard about life, who think they know it all about life, bro. When that Most High pulls your card that day, bro, you're gonna cry like a big ass baby. You have so much pent emotions and unhealing in your life, bro, and you don't seem to understand. And that's one of the ways that you cleanse this stuff from your body. It's just the way it works, guys. I didn't design our bodies. Go argue with the Most High. Okay, it's just the way that it works, man. So like I said, man, don't be ashamed of that stuff. Pierce the Third says, Shay, so right. They just leaves us with scraps of individuals who undone been through the ringer and don't even attempt to heal themselves. That's exactly what it is, bro. Let me tell you something, man. That's why I stopped dating. That's why I stopped dating. See, I want you guys. This is why I hold myself so high. I have so much high self esteem. Why do you think that is? Why? How do you? Number one, I'm retaining my seed. Okay, so I'm confident as hell already. But I have so much esteem because I know what type of person I am. I am not. I've never been an HOE. Okay, never. I've had my times when I was younger, and I've slept with a few girls, but I was clean about when I did what I did. But I'm talking about in my last 20 years of my life. I want you guys to understand this. My last 20 years of my life, bro, I've only slept with two women. Okay. Only two women. I've slept with one girl for over, 15 years. I was basically married. I slept with one girl for over 15 years. And then after that, I got what you guys all know. I got with that one girl after that. And that was it. So I've slept with two girls in 20 years. I told you, I feel like I am a modern day virgin. I am. I'm pure. And I haven't slept. Bro, that's longer than some of y'all cats have been alive. Okay? So to tell me that I haven't been walking a life of purity and you don't understand on why I am the way that I am and I have the character and the personality that I have is because look what I've went through in my life. I've been through a lot, and everything in my life, from the most part for the last 20 years, has evolved around self-discipline and growth. So I can prove to you guys, man, that, like I said, that this practice works, and you guys just got to keep going. Hold on, guys. I'm going to share the screen real quick, and we're going to go to the countdown. Give me 1 second here. So yeah, guys, listen, man. Here's what we're gonna do, bro. Here's what we're gonna do, bro. I want to ask you guys a serious question, man. All right, we about to do the retainers hotline on Friday. All right, we're gonna be talking about what semen retention has done for you. So I'm gonna save all that, for the retainers hotline. All right, but I want you guys to. I want to ask you guys a serious question, bro. Okay, I want to ask you guys a serious question, man. If semen retention, okay, wasn't real, okay, if it wasn't real, bro, this is a real question I'm trying to ask you. If semen retention wasn't real, bro, okay, if it wasn't real, then why does everybody talk about it now? If it isn't real, if it isn't real, why is it in everybody's mouth now? Why is everybody speaking about this practice? Someone answer that question. If it isn't real, then why all of a sudden right now, bro, is everybody starting to speak about the practice? Why is all of this stuff all of a sudden starting to come out about the practice? Why, if it isn't real? It's always been real, guys. Always been real. And again, we're just now finding out about this so late. We're so late in the game. We're so late in the game, bro, on retaining our seed, bro. And we should be embarrassed, man. Like I said, man, we are representing the degenerate team in America over here, bro. All right, we're out here looking like true degenerates with our sexual life force energy. I told you we are being watched on semen retention. Imagine what our ancestors, our everybody that passed away, all the gods, okay, all the disciples, the Most High, all those people are watching us, bro. Literally be degenerates, okay. This is, I cannot make this up. This is what we are doing down here, man. And we don't seem to believe that semen retention is real. We don't seem to believe that, once we stop doing this, man, that all these crazy things just start happening to us in our lives. And we start to understand, the way this matrix works. And the Most High gives us these abilities and the gifts. This is the way it works. This is how you know it's real. All right. Or people wouldn't be talking about, people wouldn't be experiencing the things that they're experiencing. And this is all I'm trying to prove to you guys, man. It is the best thing that you could ever do. And this is why I love it. Because listen, it couldn't have happened to a better of a person. Okay. It just couldn't have happened to a better of a person. All the things that I was going through at that time, man. All right. It completely took someone who had no confidence, low self esteem, bro. All right. Didn't have a plan. All right. And honestly, didn't have the courage to do what it is that I'm doing today. And look what it's done, man. Again, it's undeniable on what it's done. And like I said, this is the number one thing that we're going to be doing going into 2026. And if you do anything other than this, and like I said, you're the one who's going to be at risk. You heard every single thing that we've talked about. You understand on what the risks are going on in 2026. I gave you a couple of options. We understand that leaving the country is probably going to be the safest thing if you just want to go out there and enjoy some company and someone that's not going to, call the police on you in the morning or steal your DNA, bro, and or fake like they love you and marry you for a year to only divorce you a year later and take, half your money and leave you in a rut. You guys think this is a joke. You think this is a joke. Keep letting that little head make decisions for you in 2026. This is exactly what's going to happen to you. All those guys out there who thought the same thing. Oh, I'm HIM, bro. I'm HIM, bro. It ain't going to happen to me. I put it down, bro. I make her, bro, I give her 3 or 4 O's every single day. I put it down, bro. I get down on my kneecaps and I'm eating pizza all night, bro. It ain't going to happen to me, bro. Listen, I'm sitting here telling you guys it is going to happen to you, bro. Okay. Because the way the society is, bro. Okay. There's always going to be other options until people go within this health healing journey, bro. Go within, learn about semen retention and celibacy. Whew, this is the risk you're going to be running into. Okay. You're going to be having trust issues like Drake, bro, because it's the facts. You're just not going to be able to go out here, bro, and find a true partner, bro. There's going to be something that happens. Something's going to come between, bro. It's inevitable, man. It's just inevitable. It's just the way it is. This is the way our society is. So why not just be smart? Okay. Why not just invest, man? Why not just say, hey, man, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this for a year, man, and hopefully good things get better. Okay. If they don't, I have this plan B. All right, where I'm gonna, go to this place, man, where I feel like it's gonna be safer for me to go out here and interact with people. That would be the best way to go, bro. Instead of, like I said, in 2025 out here, bro, man, listen, bro, it's coming down to the point, man, where it's going to be straight pay to play, bro. This is the way our society works now, bro. Okay. And if you do that, bro, you're even lower because there's no telling what if it's pay to play. Imagine how many so-called rich guys who done rigged the system for money done ran through these women. That's exactly how they want these women to be, so they can just go around and really run all the women. Okay, they're already running the women now, but if it comes down to that, bro, then it'll just be over with because then everybody will be running the women. All right. And when that happens, bro, there'll be no happy homes. There'll be no families. There'll be no long lasting happy relationships. Everything will be about a transaction, bro. And this is where our future is headed because this is what we chose to be our God. This is how we are acting in 2025, heading into 2026. We created this, man. All right. And the only thing that we can do, bro, is, like I said, is to counteract everything that the enemy is using against us. And that's to, free yourself from this system, man. All right. And power up on celibacy and retention. So that's all I really want to tell you guys as far as the semen retention aspect. I'm gonna play a couple little videos, man, and I'm gonna count down here, and I'm gonna wait till 30 minutes goes by, and then I'll start counting down. It's just too early right now. I don't want to put up the screen with a whole 30 plus minutes going. So I'll read a couple more of these questions. Hey, I wanna do something real quick for you guys. So, like I said, I told you guys I figured out a couple of secrets, right? I figured out a couple of secrets. I want to start with Steven. Steven, put your birthday in the comment section. I'll start with Steven first. Anybody, Pierce the Third, anybody else, you guys if you guys want me to do this thing for you, bro, and tell you if you're from a certain bloodline, bro, all you got to do is put your birthday in the comment box. And all it's going to take me is 2 seconds. I'm going to put my birthday in the comment box to show you guys. I'm going to show you mine. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. But I can't really explain to you exactly what this is going to ensure to you. But what I can tell you is I can tell you if you're a special chosen one just by your birthday. So if you want me to answer this question for you, put your birthday in the comment box. It'll take me 2 seconds. I'll read it back to you and I'll tell you exactly what I see. I appreciate the super chat, Angry Beard. He said, Happy New Year, Darius, and all you guys. How does your nighttime routine look for good sleep? That's a good idea. That's a good question. Let me answer that for you real quick. I appreciate the super chat, Angry Beard. My night routine is pretty simple. Okay. I usually like to take baths. I don't take baths every single night, but I'll tell you the night that I usually do with the baths. So of course I do my working out, I do my cardio, my jump rope, I do all sorts of stuff like that. I make sure I get a good day worth of exercise, light stretching. And before I go to bed at night, I like to do a few things. Okay. I like to drink tea. I like to have myself some chaparral. I like to have myself some mullein, some burdock root, some dandelion root. It just depends on what I'm really in the mood for. I got eucalyptus. I got a whole bunch of teas. I like to demucus the body all the time before I go to bed at night. I notice, like I said, I haven't been sick. Bro, I've been sick in so many years. I can't even think on how many years it's been since I've been sick. But like I said, I do this and it gets the mucus out of your body, it gets the phlegm out of your throat, it clears the lung, it clears the nasal passage. And because of that, you sleep well. You're able to exhale and breathe in and breathe out deeply, okay, which puts you into a deeper state of rest. And because of that, I have the most amazing sleep. Okay. Like I said, I like to take my baths. I usually use, it depends on what kind of salt I'm using at the time. I have these bath salts with magnesium in it, and I add it into my water, and I take hydrogen peroxide baths. And the hydrogen peroxide baths are basically good for getting mites off your body. See, let me tell you guys something. So many of us think we're cleaner than we actually are. I tell you guys, I when I clean myself, I'm a person. I've done so much studying on health that I know exactly what you're supposed to be doing to clean the whole entire body. And you got to understand your dermis, your skin dermis. That's a huge surface area, and it's complex. It has a lot of organisms living on it. Okay, they burrow in your skin. They burrow in the hair follicle holes, and you have a lot of invaders. Okay, I told you guys, we are giants. There's a whole nother world that's living on us. Okay, this is the way this world is. We're Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. We're giants, bro, and there's a whole nother life that's living on our bodies and our skins. So there's this thing that I take hydrogen peroxide baths, food grade 35% hydrogen peroxide baths. And when you take the 35% hydrogen peroxide baths, when you do that, what ends up happening is it goes inside and it kills like the mites that are on your skin. There's dust mites, there's all sorts of bug mites, there's all sorts of tiny little creatures that live on the skin. Okay, so I mix those two in my bath, and I get in there and I soak in it for at least 30 minutes. Like, I literally go in there, I turn on some music, some frequency music, bro, and I just sit back and I just, I kind of put a towel up under the door and I get it real steamy in there, like a sauna, and I just lay in there and I relax. And then after I get out of that, I come to my bed and then I take myself some coconut oil, some unrefined, or excuse me, some unrefined coconut oil, and I take me some magnesium and I rub the magnesium and coconut oil and I rub it on the bottom of my feet. And when I go to bed at night, I make sure that I sleep on a flat surface. Okay. Sleeping on the floor is one of the best things that I've ever done. I no longer sleep on a bed. Don't get me wrong. I'll use a bed for other things. But I don't use a bed for, sleeping on it. Okay. Because springs and, stuff of that nature, because I was an athlete for so many years, my body has a tendency to get out of alignment. So I sleep on the floor, and I've noticed that over the years, I've been sleeping on the floor. I have the most amazing sleep because the body's able to return to its natural position when you're sleeping on a flat surface, a hard, unforgivable surface like a floor, and you get back in alignment. So if you have any misalignments in your body, if you have any misalignments in your back, if you have like SI joint problems, you have lower back problems, I would highly recommend sleeping on the floor. Okay, it is so good for you. Okay, I use a little mat. I have a little mat that I use. It's I don't know exactly what kind of mattress it is. It's kind of an air mattress, but it's not. It's super thin. Okay, it's like a platform mattress. It's really thin. I lay that on the floor, and I usually, sometimes, if I ever have back problems, which I don't ever do, but when I used to, I also would combine a pillow between my legs when I go to bed. And I'm telling you guys, bro,
I have the most amazing sleep. I sleep so well. I wake up so energized. I'm never out of alignment, and my body always feels so good. There's so much research on why you should be sleeping on the floor. Okay. And I would definitely want you guys to look into that. I would highly recommend doing that, bro. And that's my whole nighttime gig. You know what I mean? I do that, and I try to also try to make sure that the mood is set nice. I cut the lights down low. I turn off all devices. Turn off Bluetooth, turn off Wi-Fi. Make sure you do all those types of things, because that's going to affect your rest state as well. And pretty much that's what I do, bro. And I have a most amazing sleep every single time. Facts. Avoid blue light, read journals, drink a peppermint tea. Exactly, bro. I kind of do some of the things like that, like you just said. I totally agree with that. I do that kind of exact same thing as you said, bro. And but like I said, my teas are more herbal teas. Anytime I drink something, okay, I'm gonna make it count, bro. I'm gonna get something that's going to do, a really good job and give me some kind of benefits. Don't get me wrong, peppermint's great for you, bro, but take advantage, man. Everybody out here should be drinking herb teas at the end of the night, bro. Okay, for something. Okay, a lot of you guys out there do not have perfect diets. A lot of you guys out there don't seem to understand on what it means to have 10 to 15 pounds of fecal matter in your intestines. Okay, this is what most of the men are walking around right today. I know most of you guys got this. Even the skinny guys are walking around with undigested fecal matter. Okay, if you got, like I said, if you eat any kind of fast food, if you eat any kind of meat, okay, if you eat any kind of dairy, this is you. Okay, if you got any kind of gut, I mean any kind of gut, this is you, bro. You will be surprised on what you have inside of you. Okay. And again, I'm one of these big advocates of cleaning out your colon. And you guys are going to learn this mess. You're going to learn this message way too late. You guys thought this was another joke, just like you thought semen retention was a joke. You're going to learn about this one really too late. And it's going to be too late for you, man. Okay, you're going to end up with a disease. Okay, you got to clean out your body if you're eating these things. You guys got to understand, man. You guys act like you're like some pristine garbage disposal. You guys act like all this stuff that you put through here is just going to come out perfectly. Okay, all this intricate maze of twists and turns through the tiniest and smallest and open parts, okay, through all this different humidity with all this different bacterias and all kind of stuff that you got in your body, and you just think that everything that you put in is just going to go right in and come out. This is where you're wrong. And if you eat any kind of diet, like I just said, you are full of shit. I put that on my mama. Okay, go see a colon hydrotherapist and tell me that I didn't tell you that you were full of shit. Okay, because all of us are if you eat that diet. This is why I eat a plant-based diet. This is why I'm more fruitarian, because I've learned the lessons of life. I'm trying to live long. I'm trying to live for the distance. I'm not trying to live a short life. I'm not trying to live an NPC life. I'm not trying to live the diet of the Matrix where I end up in their system with the disease and they get to come in, cut pieces off of me and give me pharmaceuticals. I'm not living that lifestyle anymore. Okay. Again, we all have a choice. And so many people will argue, well, this is healthy. Well, you keep eating their diet and we'll see what happens to you. Okay. You're going to end up in their system. All right. Their diet is set up to get you guaranteed. All right. It's 100%, it's 100% success rate. If you eat their diet, that they're going to get you on something. Okay. And you see why I reject that diet so much. And this is why I do what I do. I'm not doing it because I'm trying to, maximize and look like some muscular Greek god or something stupid like that. That is so low vibrational. That is so, ego driven. That is going to do nothing for my growth. Okay. Is only going to cause me harm and take other, sentient animals' lives. I've grown, I've matured, I've learned. Okay. And the only way you're going to experience this in life is to mature as a man, is to have a mature seed first and foremost. okay, and go on your journey of spirituality where you learn about life, okay. And when you start learning stuff like that, man, like I said, you look at life completely different. Okay, you understand that your diet is not a joke, and you understand on what they're truly actually feeding you, which is death. And this is what you manifest is death. Okay, you manifest it in your body because guess what? You're a high vibrational, high frequency person. So if you put dead food in somebody that's high vibrational, high frequency, it lowers the vibration of whatever that dead energy went into. And this is why you're low vibrational as somebody that consumes these types of food. I don't, you can argue with me all you want. It's just the facts. You lower your frequency. Okay. So therefore I'm not saying you can't ever be vibing high, but I'm saying you're lower your frequency. So you're hurting yourself. Okay. And I told you any and everything where you hurt yourself is an act of degeneracy because we don't hurt ourselves over here. We're gods. Okay. And that's how I think. And if you have a problem with the way I think, then go ahead and make your excuses for your life. That means you make excuses like that for other things in your life. That means you're a red flag. That means I would skip on you and let the next man have you. I wouldn't waste the time with somebody like that because the only thing that you're going to get with somebody like that is somebody who's going to hold you down, bring you down, okay, and cause you problems, okay? You're dealing with somebody who is a high risk, bro, okay? And again, when you're a logical man and your faculties work, you're not thinking with your little head. That is not one track that you're going to fall into. Okay. And this, again, another one of these reasons why we're retaining our seed. 2026, I'm going to quit cigarettes. That's one little vice I've been struggling with. Let me tell you something about cigarettes, man. I'm going to tell you a quick little story about cigarettes. So, I learned about cigarettes at a very young age. Okay. My grandmother died. Well, that was one of her main things that she did that, ultimately took her life was smoking cigarettes. I believe it was more than that, but that was just kind of one of those things that kind of pushed it over edge. It made her health that much worse. And when I was young, I used to always go out to my grandmother's house in Texas, right? That's where I'm from. I'm from Texas. So I used to go see my grandma all the time, and she used to have these big long cigarettes. I remember they were called hundreds. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys know what kind of brand cigarettes they're called hundreds. They're in like a big gold package, and they were like really long cigarettes. And I used to watch my grandma get up every single day faithfully, bro. Okay, crack open those pack of hundreds, bro. Go out on the front porch and smoke a cigarette. And you got to think as someone who's young and impressionable, when you see people doing something like that, you obviously think it's good because you don't know you don't have life experiences, right? You're young, you don't understand what's going on, you don't have life experience. You see them doing it and you think it's good because they're doing it, right? And you respect them and care about them. So that's how impressionable we are as little ones. Okay, we think something like that's good. So this one time I waited for my grandma to go to bed, and when she went to bed, I, went in her purse and I grabbed one of those cigarettes, and I went down on the front porch and I put the cigarette in my mouth. Here's the thing. This is what I want you to know before I start the story. So I took one of those cigarettes, and I must admit, every single time my grandma would go to the store, because every time she'd go to the store, she'd get her cigarettes and I'd always get some candy. You know how we are as little ones. You know what I'm saying? We go in and we'd be able to manipulate some candy, right? So every time she'd go in and grab her cigarettes, I always try to get some kind of candy. And I remember this one time, we sitting in the car and she cracked the cigarettes and it smelled so good. Let me tell you something, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Tobacco does smell really good. Okay, like especially if you got like a really high quality tobacco. They use tobacco to make colognes, all sorts of things. There are ingredients that make colognes. So I'm gonna tell you right now, some tobacco smell really good. And my grandma had these hundreds that she used to smoke. The tobacco smelled really good. So when she would open the package and the package would open up, I would smell that tobacco. So it always was a smell that I smelled that I always thought that was really good, right? And so when I got that courage up to go take one out of her purse and go sit on the front porch, I put the cigarette in my mouth and I could taste that tobacco, that sweet tobacco. And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to taste so good. And I took the lighter and I lit that cigarette and because I didn't know no better. I didn't know what I was doing. I just hit that lighter and I inhaled that thing, bro. I took so much smoke into my lungs and I coughed that crap out, bro. It was the worst, grossest taste I've ever tasted in my life, bro. Okay. I have not went back to ever smoking cigarettes ever again, bro. And that was when I was, I think I was like 9 years old. And I tried that and I have never smoked ever, ever. I've never smoked, period. But, that was the first time that I tried a cigarette. And I just remember it hit me so bad and it made me so sick, bro. And it was so disgusting. And to this day, I've never smoked a cigarette. But my grandma ended up dying from that, man. And, I vowed that was one of the things that I would never, ever do. Okay. Smoke cigarettes because I know what it does. And I have family members that still smoke cigarettes, bro. And you're right, they can't quit, man. It's one of those vices. And again, it's one of those things that the Matrix created to destroy you. And I think the realization comes when you understand it and look at it from that logic that these people are really trying to kill you. Okay. And that will help you give more motivation. Sometimes you got to change your motivation on the way that you look at things. You can't look at it in a way that isn't been taken seriously by you. You got to kind of put it in your subconscious as a thing that you must do. And in order to do that, you got to have the explanations of why it's so bad. Okay, so that's what I would do if I were you. Okay. And like I said, my grandma died from that. I know men who've died from smoking cigarettes. I know a guy who told me that he had stage 3 lung cancer and he wasn't going to stop. He was going to keep smoking until he died. I know another girl, that used to be a client of mine when I first started doing hair. She came in, she had a big hole in her throat and she had this huge tube in this machine. And guess what? Even though she still had that crap, she was still smoking cigarettes. So listen, man, it's one of those things like you said, bro, it's one of those vices that was created by the system. It's literally a trick of the devil. It's literally a creation of Satan, bro, because it does nothing but kill people and get people addicted. So do whatever you can to find the motivation, bro. But like I said, the best thing that I would do is, look at it that way, man. Okay. Take it completely serious, man. All right. And if you have some motivation, like little ones and family members, maybe use that as motivation. And, for the simple fact that you want to be all around in the future to be there, provide and protect for them. Okay. That's another huge motivation for people. I don't know what it is that you got to do, bro, but, I'm hoping and I'm willing that you find the right thing to help you in their situation, bro. That's what's up, bro. 60 days plus. I feel good. Very emotional this year. My first year without submitting to lust, bro. Congratulations, man. First of all, congratulations, bro. That's amazing, bro. That's amazing, bro. Congratulations, bro. Seriously, bro. Congratulations, man. 60 days ain't no joke, bro. That's a good job, man. You're almost to where you need to be, bro. Okay. I'd say retain it, 40 more days. 40 more days is a good spot I would say, to retain it, bro. Build up your stores to about right there, man. And, decide from where, what you want to do from there. I mean, like I said, we're trying to hit a mature seed and, 40 more days and you'll be there, bro. Let us know how your journey continues to go. Facts, Steven. Steven says semen retention is undervalued and under invested. Bro, I told you. I told you, bro. People don't care, man. People don't care, bro. Because like I said, we're in a world of instant gratification, Steve. You know that, bro, man. And you know, You give somebody something that's here right now, and you give them something that that they believe is hypothetical and isn't real. They're going to choose this every single time, man. And that's just unfortunate because in a world where that really matters, okay, this decision is the right one to take. Okay, is to avoid the instant gratification and choose the higher road. Okay, unfortunately, like I said, in a matrix, man, where that actually matters, man, people are actually, choosing the bad thing. And it's just unfortunate, bro. We should be heavily invested in retaining our seed, bro, because there's so much upside. But again, this is our world. Everything that is negative is, promoted, and everything that is good, all right, is looked down upon and discredited. And because of that, man, we're always going to have this imbalance where people decide just to live their life, in accordance to how they want, okay, and which is being reckless and irresponsible. Because they're, like I said, everything that we're doing is showing you that we are degenerate, bro. Okay, anytime that we are taking our lives, okay, inflicting wounds on ourselves from inappropriately using our sexual organs, again, only so many people are going to understand what I'm saying, bro. Okay. There is the Most High is looking at us right now. Okay. Your ancestors are looking at us right now. All the people who were passed away are looking at us right now. Right. I want you to think about this. They're all looking at you right now. Right. And if that's the case, bro, that they're all doing this to you right now, what do you think they're thinking about what you're doing? And you're not realizing what you're doing. And you don't think that that's serious. You don't really think that someone's watching you. Bro, there's no species that act like this except the humans. And we're supposed to be the most gifted ones. We're supposed to be the ones who have evolved the farthest. And there's no monkeys, there's no rabbits, there's no birds that are down here, sitting on their knees, bro, and inflicting, a self wound on themselves and doing this, bro. Nobody else is doing this, okay, except us as human beings. And that's embarrassing, okay? That is embarrassing. I don't care what. You can make whatever excuse that you want. That is embarrassing, bro. Okay. You can say whatever you want. You can say times are bad. You can make whatever excuse you want. That is degenerate and that is embarrassing, bro. Okay. Period. All right. We are not evolving, okay, as a human race by living like that, bro. We are going backwards, and this is not what we're not supposed to be doing, okay? And this is only proves the times that we are living in and why we need to be practicing this practice, because it's that important. All right, guys, hold on. I'm gonna switch the camera back over. We got 10-minute countdown, so give me 1 second here. All right, guys. So we got 2 minutes and 49 seconds counting, bro, to the new year, bro. We on a new year, bro. We on a new path, man. We about to change our destiny, bro. In 2026, if you already haven't, bro, this is important, man. Okay, this is important, guys. We're getting another chance at this thing, man. You still got air in your lungs, man. You are still alive, bro. All right. You understand on what time it is. All right. You got another chance, man. You got another chance, bro. We're going to be back here the same time next year at the same time, bro. Further growth. Okay. Channels done grown. Talents done grown. Abilities and gifts done stepped up. Okay. Where are you going to be? What are you going to do this next year? Are you going to have the discipline, bro? Are you going to keep making excuses, man? All right. Most of us have already made this journey. Most of us have already put in this discipline. Okay. This is the last hurrah, my people. Okay. We gotta do the right thing in 2026, man. All right. We got the eyes to see. We understand what's going on, man. And I just want you guys to make the right decision for your life, man. So let's do the right thing out here. One minute. We got 1 minute, 1 minute and 40 seconds. I'm going to get to you guys' birthday. So put your birthday and put the year. I promise I'm going to get every single one of you guys. I'm going to do every single one of you guys. Put your birthday and the year, the birth date and the year. Before the stream ends, I'm going to go through each one of them and I'm going to tell you what I get. Of course, they're going to play some damn music to mess up the copyright. I'm not even about to do all that. Come on now. Man. Can't even play the sound, bro. That's weak. Maybe I'll find a different one real quick. Damn. All right, here we go.
Show, we can say that. So
we only hear it pretty good, at least. So.
Yeah, for sure. We're hearing some fireworks already happening in the neighborhood around us. But let's get outside because Shantae and Jose are with a crowd that is very excited to see the show, and they are excited no matter what. I mean, even with the fog.
To the people tonight.
Yeah. Exactly. Pausing the drone show is not stopping the party out here, right? The party's still going on, right?
That's true. Drone what? We don't need a drone.
Right.
This is a party.
We're still going to have a great time.
Yeah.
And we still have a lot of things to give away. Jose Santa, Christmas may be over,
no
but
drone,
we got a lot of things to
season
give out.
passes are happening. Let's see who wants one.
So these season passes are for the Space Needle. You can go to the Community Garden. So a lot of people out here very excited, ready to go. Oh, it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick.
They really want the season passes.
The season passes have been a hit. We have had so much fun out here. The energy has been
incredible. Just incredible. I'm having fun, and I know you're having fun.
Oh yeah, I'm just having so much fun, and we're of course looking forward to that fireworks show. And I really think the fog, honestly, it's gonna
that touch
mystical, magical. It's gonna be nice. It's not gonna slow anything down out here, as you can see, Jake and Mimi.
Not at all. And we're already getting the champagne ready. We've got our glasses on. So we're trying to get into the festive mood out here.
Feeling it. We're feeling it here at Chihuly.
And by the way, we have these really cool glasses, these flutes from the Space Needle. You have a story behind this,
so
right?
These are from the 1962 World's Fair when the Space Needle was, invented and first constructed.
Yeah.
There's no turning back.
You must decide what you want.
And so it begins.
How good a night are you?
Got 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes to the countdown. I'm writing down these birthdays real quick.
Stay away from women. Remember, boys, number 1, stay away from women. All they want from you is your man juice.
Come on, I haven't got much left. Just give me a few days to heal, okay? Then we'll start again on the left hand and... I beg your pardon?
Eat me all night long. That's right, boy. You feed me, come on, feed me now.
I can't.
I'm starving.
Look, maybe I can squeeze a little more out of this one. There isn't any more.
Flesh, but he who is joined to the Lord is one spirit with him. Flee sexual immorality. Every sin that a man does is outside the body. But he who commits sexual immorality sins against his own body. Now listen to this. Please pay close attention to what I'm about to share. It is mysterious power that is potent enough to defile the most dedicated servant of God if that believer is not extremely vigilant. When the scripture says they become one, it means there is a merging of the soul as they come together. Both joins together and are yoked. It is a sacrificial act where each of the couple's life string merged together is opened legally to alien forces for manipulation. If one of the parties is wicked, the merger will result in both souls being corrupted. This applies to married and unmarried. This merging with other souls weakens the energy and potency of the soul. This was how Samson, the mighty man of God and judge of Israel, was lulled into a false sense of security as he engaged with the Philistine prostitutes and later Delilah. His soul was legally corrupted and open to manipulation by the Dagon priest. It was only a matter of time before he was reduced to 0 level in the spirit. King David lusted after Bathsheba. That opened the door. What was the result of this soul merging? Notice how in Psalm 51 verses 1 to 9, deep repentance continuing for what he lost over those months. Lost what? Look at verses 10 through 12. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit in me. Do not cast me away from your presence, and do not take your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me by your generous spirit. Do you hear this man after God's own heart crying to God to be restored into the place he once knew? Another noteworthy Bible example is the incident of Peor, recorded in the book of Numbers 25. Balaam knew that if Israel walked pure before their God, sorcery was ineffective. He therefore gave counsel to King Balak. The result, that Israel remained at Acacia Grove, and the people began to commit harlotry with the women of Moab. They invited the people to the sacrifice of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their God. An established for the people who served as territorial chiefs. A territorial chief is given leave of only 5 days a year to indulge in this human madness. These are the only days he can use his thoughts and lust as he desires. If married, these are the only days you can indulge in sexual acts with a wife. That was not a typo. He was only 5 days each year. He only has 5 days each year. Any more than that disqualifies them from standing effectively on their altar. Any dream involving sex is a spiritual manipulation. Pornography is usually the tool used to access this door and invite the spirit. It has yoked millions around the world in spirit marriages. Many find themselves having sexual intercourse in the dream, resulting in the men secreting semen. A portion of the semen is quickly harvested by spirits for use against those men later. Simple prayer does not scare away these demons as they legally claim their victim as marriage partner. To rule or exercise authority in the spirit, the person must live above soul manipulation. You cannot rule a territory if your soul is subject to manipulation. As a territorial witch, I was taught to watch my semen vigilantly because it is the only fluid which carries my life forward. Exposing semen to the foul soul is equal to giving a stranger all your personal information. Information they can then use to open or access bank accounts, birth certificates, passports. Nothing is off limits. It exposes a man's soul and its seat of inheritance to multiple manipulation. To become a chief, one must have conquered all human desires. Human desires are considered weakness, which control men. Men can control through all this weakness. This is why the Bible repeatedly warns men to crucify or put to death this flesh of human nature. The one that dead to the flesh, they are beyond the manipulation and can then exercise spiritual authority over other men.
Happy New Year, guys. We just crossed the Happy New Year barrier, bro. Happy New Year to everybody, bro. Happy New Year to everybody, bro.
Like a poem said by a lady in red, you hear the last few words of your life. With a haunting dance, now you're both in a trance. It's time to cast your spell on the night.
Happy New Year, you guys. Listen, okay, I'm breaking down this one real quick for Williams, and then I got the next one up on the list. So here I'm sending your last part of yours right now, Williams. Let me know if you got that, bro. Check it at the bottom. So basically, the formula that I just gave you guys, I want you guys to all do this with your birthday. Okay, check this out. I want you guys to all do this with your birthday. This is important for you guys to do. This is something I just discovered, bro. And ain't nobody just gonna show you this. All right, so check this out. So I'm gonna put this up. All right, so check out his birthday. Right. His birthday is 5/8/2003. Okay, so what you do is you go over here and you take the 5 and the 8, and you take 5 plus 8. Okay, 5 plus 8 equals what? Equals 13. Okay, 5 plus 8 equals 13. All right, then you go over to this 13. You take that 13, and now you add this 13 here. Okay, with the 2 and the 3. Right. So you take this. You're adding up this 2 and this 3. All right, so 2 plus 3 is what? It's 5. Okay, so 13 plus 5 equals 18. Okay, then you break that down. 1 plus 8, all right, equals 9. All right, and then you break that 9 down to 333. So if your numbers break down like this. Okay, you're a part of something here. Okay, it could break down to 33, it could break down to 333, but this is the number we're looking for. Okay, if your birthday breaks down to this number, okay, this my birthday breaks down to this number. All my family members. This is what I want you to understand. Listen to me. This is not no joke. Okay, this is real. This is real talk right here. You can do this with anybody. Okay, go see who people are. Like I said, my whole family breaks down to this number right here. Everybody in my family. There's not one person in my family. Every single family member. I don't mean just in my immediate family. I mean my whole bloodline. All their birthdays break down to this number. Okay, I want you to understand this. All right, all of them break down to this number. No, it's not about a life path 9. This is not what this is about, bro. Okay, this is not about a life not. This is not about that. Okay, this is about something completely different. All right, this is a bloodline right here. Okay, this is a special group of people right here. Okay, this is not a coincidence. I want you guys to go look at your numbers. Break down your birthday. Okay. If your numbers break out to this number right here, okay, this is what we're talking about. This is not a coincidence. I've gone around and I've met tons of people, and every person I get their birthday, okay, I always break down their numbers. All right. And there's very few people, and believe it or not, that their numbers break down to this number right here. Okay. And this is what I want you guys to check. I want to see if you guys are these people. Okay. This is who I am. All right. This is the people that that I reside with right here. This is my soul family. These people here. This is what I want to show you guys. And then I want you to go and look in your family. I want you to do the exact same thing. Go through your whole family. Do your numbers first, and then go through your whole family and watch how all your whole family's numbers match up to the exact same thing. Okay, this is a fact. Okay, your whole bloodline. If they're of your bloodline, guess what? Their numbers are going to match up exactly the same as yours. If this is something that the Most High gave us, this is a tool. This is something that we need to look into and dive into deeper to understand on what we're being shown here. Okay. Because, like I said, this is a whole family thing. This isn't just one person. All right. Whatever your numbers are going to add up to, that'll be for your whole family. Okay. You'll be able to go through your whole bloodline and write down their birthdays, and their numbers are all going to correlate with the exact same numbers as yours. This is what I'm proving to you guys. This is a fact. I've done this. I've gone over. I told you I've done this to my whole family. I mean, every single one of my family members I've contacted, and I've got their birthday, and I've done their numbers. Okay, so I already know that this is what is happening, and all I want to do is just put this out there to the rest of the people who don't know about this. And I want you to go and look into your bloodline. What I'm telling you is they're trying to get us to believe that, oh, it's a life path 9 number. No, yes, that has a lot to do with some things. And yes, it does tell information about some people. What I'm trying to get you guys to see is this is a bloodline thing. This is your family. This is your whole family. Okay, and it's much more deeper than you think. Okay, and it's going to give us more clues on to who we are. And I just challenge you guys, like I said, to go and check this out. Pretty simple formula. Again, all of these numbers are good numbers, okay? And we're still trying to figure out, and this is all I'm trying to do is try to get you guys to unlock your mind here and try to figure out what's going on. They're telling us it's this and this and that, but I really highly doubt it's what they're telling us. I'm telling you, this is something I discovered. I just decided to one day just break down my birthday. I was just curious about it. And I broke it down, and I'm like, that's interesting that my birthday breaks down to that number. I said, let me do a couple of my family members. I'm just curious. So I do my mom's. My mom comes down and breaks down to the same as mine. I'm like, that's weird. Okay, well, let me do my dad. Oh, well, his numbers break down the same as mine. I went, okay, I'm really curious now. I said, well, let me get my little ones. Holy crap! All my little ones, all their birthdays break down the exact same thing too. No way. Let me go see my grandma. No way. My grandma's too. No way. Let me go see my grandpa. No way. My cousin, my auntie, my uncle, the whole family. Okay, the whole family has the exact same numbers. So then I started to go and do it to other people who are outside of my family. And guess what? They have a completely different set of numbers. So all I'm trying to do is try to understand on what is going on here. All I need is your birthday, bro. Give me a second, Lego King. I'll check yours out really quick. Give me a second. Give me 1 second.
Simple prayer does not scare away these demons as they illegally claim their victim as marriage partner. To rule or exercise authority in the spirit, the person must live above soul manipulation. You cannot rule a territory if your soul is subject to manipulation. As a territorial witch, I was taught to watch my semen vigilantly because it is the only fluid which carries my life code. Exposing semen to the foul soul is equal to giving a stranger all your personal information. Simple prayer does not scare away these demons as they illegally claim their victim as marriage partner. To rule or exercise authority in the spirit, the person must live above soul manipulation. You cannot rule a territory if your soul is subject to manipulation. As a territorial witch, I was taught to watch my semen vigilantly because it is the only fluid which carries my life code. Exposing semen to the foul soul is equal to giving a stranger all your personal information. Information they can then use to open or access bank accounts. No certificates of passport. Nothing is off limits. It exposes a man's soul and its seat of inheritance to multiple manipulation. To become a chief, one must have conquered all human desires. Human desires are considered weakness which control men. Man can control through all his weakness. This is why the Bible repeatedly warns man to crucify or put to death his flesh or human nature. When one is dead to the flesh, they are beyond the manipulations and can then exercise spiritual authority over other men.
You were made to conquer whatever life presents. You did it when you were sperm. How come you think you can't do it now?
All right, Lego King. So I just did yours, brother. And yours added up too. I want you to go and reaffirm what yours is. He says this is 3. Yep, that's what I got, bro. That's what I got for yours as well, bro. So you're right on the money, bro. You're not, fortunately, not exactly what mine is. So I can't really tell exactly what you are. All I can do is have you break down your numbers and just have you go and investigate more on what it is that you got going on. Okay. I'm only telling you on what I've found my findings were. Again, I'm new to what I'm finding here. And like I said, it's not the same for everyone. It's different for everyone. But what I'm trying to see how many people have the exact same numbers as me. And I'm surprised on how many people I'm finding. Steven says, my name equals 3D33, Stephen Mitchell Reinhardt. I can spell it. He will retain semen in my name too low. So what's your birthday, Stephen? Did I do your birthday already? Did you already put your birthday up there, Stephen? Did I already do yours? I think I already did yours. Is that what you are, Jim? 333? Are you a 333 too? There you go. That's awesome, Jim. Yep, I figured you guys were. I figured that most of the people who are in the high consciousness are. We're some type of, I don't know, bro. We're some kind of special group of solar star beings that are here, bro. Okay, that's the best way I can explain it to you. Because every person that I've done these numbers on are some type of highly intelligent, highly intuitive type of person. Okay, this is just a fact. Everybody that I've done the numbers on that come out with these numbers, this is what I'm discovering with them. So I just thought it was something that you guys should look into. all you guys should be doing this with your birthdays and trying to work out your numbers. Okay, I gave a pretty good breakdown on what you got to do. Okay, and just do that with your birthday and see what numbers that you work out to. Give me 1 second, Jim. I'll do yours real quick.
Emitted into a hostile environment with a competition of 100 million to a billion other sperms who had the same thing in mind. We got to fertilize that egg. And when you made it, and I made it, we made it, we were ready to come forth into life and face anything that life presents. And with the mind of a conqueror and the Spirit of God, anything that came our way in order to get where we are today, we had to come. If we don't get control of the earth of fact, we can never rise to greatness. Or if we rise to greatness by getting control, then lose control. That will destroy your greatness, our greatness. Here, look at this. It is become entering this circle. From it comes the power to get right on.
All right, Jim. So I broke down yours too. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to put it in the comment section. I'm going to show you how to do it. How I do it. So it's pretty relatively simple. Okay, so I'm gonna put the formula there and then just apply it to your birthday. All right, Jim. Here comes your birthday. All right, Jim. This is how you break down your birthday, bro. All right. So with your birthday, it's 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay. So what you got there? You got a 33. You got a 6. Right. Then you go over to your 1 and your 9. Okay. And you do your 1 plus your 9, okay, which is 10, right? So you drop that 1 down, and then you have your 7, okay, your 1 plus 6 is 7, and then you do your 7, okay, plus your 8. And then what do you get from that? You get a 15, right? So 1 plus 6, right? So you're right on money. You're right on point, exactly what you said that you are. And I already said that I agree with you that you don't even need to prove that to me because I already know what type of person you are. And you can go and see this if your numbers correlate with any of these numbers, you have any of these threes in your numbers, then this is who you are, bro. You're one of them. Now you know why you are gifted with the gifts that you are. Bro, you're really on the dream team, man. You're really one of these people down here, and this is your mission in life. This is what you're supposed to be doing, bro. You're supposed to be helping other people with sin, bro. And you can see how this is who we are. They know who we are. So you ever wonder why I told you on how this, matrix is put together so well and why I called it the Truman Show? You know why? Because guess what? If they know this, if they knew this before we knew this, we just now understanding what our birthdays mean, right? We're just now understanding the numerology behind our birthdays. So they've been known this. This is how I tell you, they know exactly who all of us are. They know exactly, who's got the special gifts. We were all put in these programs when we were younger. And like I said, this is how the Matrix is able to be so well constructed against us, okay? Because they know who we are, all right? And this is super important for you guys to understand on who you are. Guys, we're in a real life game here, man, where we are trapped here and we've forgotten on who we truly are. Like I said, we're all special people. We all got special abilities. And this is just another way to hone back into, who we truly are. Because once you start understanding these numbers and start seeing the synchronicity of these numbers, because I guarantee you, if you're one of these people that I just proven, everywhere you go, you see 333, you see 33, you see 3, you see the numbers, it could be any set of numbers. It'll add up to 3, it'll add up to 33, it'll add up to 333. You're already seeing these numbers, and that's getting you to reaffirm on who it is that you are. And the way you do that is by doing your own numbers. That's why it's important to know your birthday, because then you can just break this down yourself, and then you can really assure on who it is that you truly are. And you know what your purpose is. You're like I said, you're a star seed. You're one of those people that is down here that is supposed to be helping humanity grow and change. Okay? We're understanding who we are, and it's a beautiful thing, man. And just share that with the rest of your family and watch how the rest of your family members, if that's your true bloodline, will have the exact same numbers as you. It's actually quite mind blowing. Yeah, that's what that means. You got the right numbers. See, let me tell you how this mathematical system works. Okay, you did it right. Okay. This is how you break down the numbers. You got 4 plus 8, okay, which equals 12, right? People will look at that and say that equals 12, but then you also break down this number. You reduce this number. How do you reduce 12? 1 plus 2. Okay, 1 plus 2 equals 3. So go and look at your birthday and apply this formula to your birthday. Figure out what numbers you are. Okay, and start to go. And then once you figure out what numbers you are, go and do your. If you have little ones, go do their birthday. If you have a mother next to you, or father next to you, a sister next to you, it doesn't matter who they are. If they're in your bloodline, they're going to have the exact same matching numbers as you. It's mind blowing what you're going to start to put together. And then, like I said, what this does is it starts to make you realize that we're really real down here. It's not, things are not a coincidence. Okay, we are really these people. Okay, and this just shows us and reminds us on who we are, because this is in who we are. It's our birthday. Okay, the Most High. This is how I want you to understand. It's so beautiful because the Most High did this. He orchestrated all of us to have these synchronicities in our birthdays with these numbers. That is an amazing thing. Okay, that's just all I'm trying to prove to you guys. It's not a coincidence. Okay, which is going to give you more insight to start, putting the puzzle together. You're going to start seeing the synchronicities of the numbers. You're going to start seeing them in phone numbers. You're going to start seeing them in bills. You're going to start seeing them in your address. Let me tell you something. My numbers match everything. Listen to me. I'm going to tell you this last thing. I'm telling you the truth, and I want you to go do the same thing with your life to go see that I'm not telling. I'm not joking. Depending on where you live, if you have a long-term residence, your house, your home address will match up to the exact same numbers as your birthday. Okay. If you have a phone number, if you've had a phone number long enough, okay, that phone number will match up to the exact same numbers as your address. Like, dude, there's so many different things add up to the same numbers in your birthday. And this is not done by a coincidence. This is done by design. Okay, I want you to really look into what I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, you're going to be blown away. Facts, bro. Facts, bro. It's one of their numbers. It is. You're right, Steven. Exactly. But the whole thing is they use these numbers because they put in these numbers in our face. So what they've done is they've taken these numbers and they've adopted numbers of their own. But the numbers they're so relative to us because they involve us. It's like they're putting it in our face. It's like they're wanting us to wake up to what they're doing. And like I said, you're gonna be surprised when you start looking at if you're one of these people, you're gonna be surprised when you start going around your whole family and you start calling everybody, you start asking for everybody's birthday, and you're gonna start seeing that everybody has the exact same number to you if they were born in your bloodline. That is what's crazy. Okay, because they all match. It doesn't matter what their birthday is, they're all going to come out with the same numbers. And that to me is mind blowing. Again, because that shows us that we're more than what we think we are. Okay. And I proved it to you. This is how people are able to know things about you. Okay. Because we're just not coming into this knowledge. They got us to believe that this is all life path stuff. And I just told you guys that has a lot to do with it. Okay. Some of those things make sense, but that's not the true story behind it. The true story behind it is who we are as people. And if you have these numbers, how important it is for you to go in your own family and do your own research. That's what's up, True. That's what's up, man. Okay, guys, listen, man. Exactly. 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 You got it. You got it. That's it right there. You got it. That's all I'm trying to show you. You got it. That's exactly what I want you to do. And here's the thing. This formula applies for so many other things. It isn't just your birthday. Okay. You can decode so many things out here just knowing on how to reduce numbers like that. Okay. Most people don't understand this simple mathematical equation is one of the standards that is used today to do various different things from gematria to, like I said, decode people and figure out and where people are from just based off of their birthday. This is how they get this information. Yeah, that's what I am. Mine breaks down to 333 too as well, bro. Everybody in my family breaks down to 333. It's crazy. All of them do. All of them do, bro. Everybody in the family, that's just crazy, bro. And like I said, you go look at somebody else's family, you go break down their family, and guess what? It's completely different. They, not everybody's the same. So I want you to go look and see what your family is, and then we'll eventually find out what your family is about. We'll eventually find out what your numbers mean. But the whole point is we're doing this 'cause I want to know what different variations are out there. I want to know what everybody breaks down to. This is the only way we're going to know what we're dealing with and who is who. All right, guys, listen, man. I'm gonna save the rest of this for Friday. We're gonna come back on Retainers Hotline. Listen, I hope you guys come in and you guys out there who are on your retention journey, man, who haven't shared yet, who haven't came out of the hiding and cloaked yourself and shared your experience with some of the green guys in the retention community or some of the guys that are going through the same level of streaks as you. I would encourage you guys to come in on Friday, bro. I'm gonna try to go on at 3 p.m. and I'm gonna put up the link and hopefully some of you guys can come in and we're gonna get this retainers hotline started and we can just start talking about retention again in the community. Let you guys share your stories, but I want to hear, honestly, want to hear from some of you guys, man. It's been a while since we've done one of these retainer hotlines, bro. So hopefully that's giving you guys enough time to go on your journey and gain some knowledge and some wisdom and, be comfortable enough to come up and share. So until then, I will wait and hold on the rest of this live stream, and we'll save it for Friday. So you guys have a good rest of the night. Happy New Year to all you guys that came in here. I hope you guys are continuing, in 2026 with these new aspirations, this newfound energy to succeed, because now you have some motivation in your life. Okay, you understand, bro? We broke down everything. We understand on how important this is, man. All right, and we understand we ain't got much time left. We understand that's the one thing that we don't got a lot of left is time, bro. All right, so we're gonna make sure we're gonna make our time count in 2026. All right, we're gonna stay dialed in, we're gonna stay focused, and we're gonna stay safe, and we're gonna make smart and wise decisions. So I love all you guys. I appreciate all you guys that came in here. Happy New Year to all you guys, and I will see you guys on the next one. You guys have a good rest of the night. Be safe out there. I love you guys, man. Peace. You guys have a good night, man. I love you guys. Happy New Year. Peace, fellas.